Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 59. Been quite a moment since we had a broadcast. I think it was October last time. So this is our first one of the new year. We got a special episode lined up. Got my regular castmates with me. My man Colonel Crackers, Rick Dom, Jake, Pancho should be joining us shortly, and then we're gonna have a very special guest joining us after the first hour or so, I guess.
Patty LaBelle.
So yeah, I guess we should jump right into things. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff has been going on since October. I mean, so much has happened. A lot of people putting out the top 10 lists, top 10 figures, top 10 Marvel Legends. A lot of new figures dropped right at the top of the year. I think Mezco's got something coming out tomorrow going on. So Fabio, you want to start? Say what you got, maybe just real quick, and say what were some of your top figures, I guess, of 2017, real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, it has been a minute. A lot of stuff has changed. I'd say I had a top 10 Marvel Legends list out somewhere. I'll look for that, but I mean, there was a lot of good releases from a lot of different companies, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get all of them. But the favorite stuff that I got this year was probably a lot of Mezco, because I think 2017 was really their big swing year where they just started pumping things out. Some things got delayed, of course, but then we got hit with 4 of them back to back.
Some things. Apparently, Mezco was very, very popular amongst collectors and hype beasts.
I mean, honestly,
it's the supreme of toys, honestly.
Basically,
yeah, it's kind of the flagship 6-inch line for a lot of people. But I mean, I don't know. Legends is always going to be hard to top because Legends is just such a vast and varied line, lots of different characters,
and the price point makes it such an easy line to get into. When you love Marvel, it's just where else are you gonna start first?
Think about this though. Marvel Legends put out maybe 100 figures in 2017. Yeah. So think about that times 20. If you paid regular retail for each figure, that's a lot of money throughout the year, man. 100 figures in 1 year. That's nuts. No other company came close to putting out that many figures. I don't know who would be close to that. Figure Arts, they probably had half.
They put out a good amount.
Figure Arts, yeah, because Figma is I'm sure anybody that collects Figma knows is that they delay almost as much as Mezco, but at least Figma delays no more than 2 months for figures, so they don't release as much as Figure Arts does.
I want to say Diamond Select. Diamond Select's another one of those companies that has figures coming out
that's
every week. Every week they got 2 or 3 figures out.
Yeah, Diamond Select definitely put out a lot of stuff.
2 or 3 figures and from various different properties too. It's not like, oh man, it's just they have a Marvel Select every week. They have Ghostbusters, they got Muppets, they got Pulp Fiction. Did he look like a bitch?
Dark Tower, fuck
yeah, great figures.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts figures are starting to hit.
A lot. I've been loving those.
Getting back.
But Fabio, go ahead. What was your?
I found my list. So my top 10 Legends of this year were, in no particular order: Cyclops from the Warlock wave, Sunfire from the Warlock wave, Rogue from the Juggernaut wave, Bullseye, which was a lot of people's top number 1, which is a fantastic figure from the Man-Thing wave, and then I put 3 of the vintage figures because I felt like they were stronger than their original release. So I had the Wolverine, the Punisher, and then Black Widow, which is I guess technically new. Invisible Woman, because I'm glad that we finally. And Human Torch, actually, because I'm finally glad we're starting to get some up-to-date Fantastic Fours, even if the way that they release them is a little weird. And then the Walmart Black Panther is great, with some honorable mentions being that Hydra 2-pack, the Spidey MJ 2-pack, the Cyclops Phoenix 2-pack, the Man-Thing Bath, and the Gladiator Hulk Bath. Even though, I don't typically put movie figures there, but that Gladiator Hulk is really nice. It's a good buck for sure.
All right. What do you think was your top purchase in 2017? One of your favorites?
As far as fun, I mean, the Batmobile, the RC Batmobile's up there for sure.
No doubt.
Let's see. I mean, Mezco Punisher is probably the top figure from that company this year. They put out a lot this year, but I think that Punisher is probably still their just best individual release. But I got to put that.
What do you guys think was the best? What we think was the best DC release from Mezco? Because I didn't really delve into the DC stuff, but I definitely had Mezco Punisher in my top 10 of the year, though.
Looking at him right now, I'd say in terms of really capturing the classic look of the character, that Shazam is unbeatable. I mean, that the wiring on the cape is better done than any of their other capes, so you can do a lot with that.
How was Black Adam?
Black Adam is great too. I just play it without the cape though, because that's more the classic look, and then the cape wasn't really as well done as Shazam. Superman's got to be up there for me too, just because it's fucking Superman. It's the flagship DC character, and I'm finally glad we got him.
Superman was kind of funny.
It's hit or miss for sure. You got to just like the Mezco aesthetic, I guess, and it's just a nice spot that it hit. We really needed that like main character, and the Red Sun Superman was really nice too. That one I think was highly slept on.
I just can't believe that we still don't have just a classic or a simple Batman.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that day. It needs to happen.
That Ascending Knight is kind of their classic Batman, but it's not simple looking by any means. It's not it's got that weird texturing on it.
No, I'm with you. If they put out a classic Batman, that's gonna definitely be highly sought after. So, Rick, what you had in some of your top figures for this year?
Let me sound off on Legends first. Some of them are everybody's just gonna end up repeating because we all know what the best figures
right.
are. That X-Men wave, pretty much almost the entire X-Men wave that came out. The Sunfire, the Cyclops, the Logan, the Rogue, they were all fire. That 2-pack with Phoenix and Scott was wild. All those heads we got, that was so dope.
Especially putting one of those extra heads on that vintage Black Widow just doubles the value of everything.
Yeah, even putting those heads on the original Phoenix that we got, which had the terrible head sculpt, that one pretty much rose that figure in value. I've seen a lot of people going out and backtracking and getting that figure.
That Phoenix that has the bad YouTube makeup tutorial thing.
Yeah.
Really weird.
The side of her head looks kind of weirdly shaved.
Yeah, no way, man. If somebody came on here and told me that their favorite figure of the year isn't a figure and it's just the body mold that Sunfire comes on, I'd agree with them. That mold is unreal. I love what Marvel Legends did this year. Even with their TV stuff, the Netflix Punisher that they made was dope. The Jessica Jones gave us good pieces. That Elektra was a total Popeye mistake, but they owned up to it. I'm sure you guys have seen in interviews that he says that it was totally his fault for like ordering a wrong part.
Yeah, it was Boog's interview.
And, that was Boog's interview. Yeah, exactly. And so at least we know that it wasn't them just purposely doing some dumb.
Yeah, there was that, and he also said that they wanted to add those extra parts to the Man Thing figure too, and that's why he had that hole on his back, or those holes on his back too. So, I don't know. I guess at the rate that they've been putting out stuff, I guess we got to give them a little leeway to screw up a couple of times, because
they're doing really well. They're doing so well that it is noticeably making the Star Wars stuff look really bad. That Star Wars stuff is really hard to not pick at it when they make so many mistakes. And then the other good figure of the year, super underrated figure, but once you have it built, it's really nice. Is the movie Vulture? Oh my god, that figure is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's impressive for sure.
It's impressive when you have it built. That Moon Knight gave us probably the best cape any Marvel Legends has ever had.
I still would have liked to have seen. I don't know. I talked about that figure. I had it as one of my honorable mentions, but I said that actual cloth cape makes that figure 10 times better, honestly.
Oh yeah, I think they're in reality, if in a world where we get to pick things, we should never have a figure with a plastic cape. It doesn't work. With that, just thinking about all the figures with plastic capes in Black Series makes my head hurt.
Oh god,
terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible. Another underrated figure, man, is both of the movie Spider-Mans. Both of the movie Spider-Mans are really good. They
from Legends, they were actually
from
good.
Legends. They were fire.
The homemade suit was out of this world.
Oh yeah,
it was good.
I love both those figures. And the ab crunch, I know I'm not tripping because I compared it in my hands. The ab crunch for the movie Stark suit Spider-Man has better ab crunch than any of the other Spider-Mans. It's wild.
I sold out both of those figures, but
Legends.
They were good. Though. They were very good.
Yeah, that Holland head was a little suspect, though.
You said which one?
The Holland head. whatever, the Peter Parker head that comes.
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh
That-
yeah. Little sus.
that's a slip up. That
Well, it's kind of bobbleheaded.
Yeah,
I like.
well-
They should have made it just a little smaller. The likeness, you could have gotten away with it, but yeah, it's just a bobblehead on that body.
It's almost like a select head on a Legends body.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. There's definitely like I don't even know where that head is because I took it off and I was like, nah, man, this is no good.
And the fact that it didn't fit on the homemade suit body is criminal too.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Man, I hate
Rob
that
the
they do that stuff,
possibility.
man. I
Right.
hate that they do that, and they still never have a straight answer when we're like, hey, man, why do the same molds have different, socket sizes and ball sizes, and they just always kind of look at you like, whoa, it's a manufacturing thing. Like, no, dude, come on. It costs more money to produce different sockets and different ball joints. Like, you guys are doing it on purpose almost. Like,
What's
you have
up with
to
this,
actively go out of your way for it.
What's up with this figure that I just put up on the screen?
Solo.
Is that some type of exclusive for Black Series?
No, I think it's part of the wave, but it's part
it's
of
a normal release.
Is it? Okay.
I
it's
heard
part
that
of
thing
the
is
Legends, which is
fire.
the former expanded universe.
What is
Not
it,
really a character from the movies.
What is it?
I heard somebody saying that they did something kind of new on this body as far as the articulation. Was it in the
Got a double
torso?
ab crunch or something?
Is that it?
He has the diaphragm,
has
but I think he has a crunch as well, just below that.
Yeah, it has double crunch, and it only has one joint in the elbow, but still goes farther than 90, like by a good amount, almost like it's a double jointed elbow.
Really?
So, yeah, it was like somebody that works for Black Series is like, let's make one really good one so we could show that we do it, but not do it again.
But never do it again, right?
Never
the fact
do
that
it
it's
again.
The fact that it's a completely non-essential character that they did this to, or that they gave this treatment to, is just a little like, come on. Because you really don't need, if you're strictly a movie person, this character doesn't even exist,
No, absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's a good buck if you want to do something maybe like I could see Black Widow on this body or something like that, huh?
Oh yeah, you could get
Catwoman. Yeah.
When you put it up on
Catwoman.
the screen, it was kind of far away from me and I couldn't see it. I was like, oh man, is that a Quake figure?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. Maybe just get rid of the Han Solo belt she's got.
Oh,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly,
that could come
exactly.
Yeah,
This-
that's a good idea.
This is going to be a figure that it's going to be hard for me not to buy it every time I see it.
All right. So what you got for one of your top picks from imports, right?
For imports, I have the Figma Red. I have Ash and Team Rocket set. What else do I got? I got Guts, obviously, because I never, as big of a fan as I am of Berserk, I've not been into it for like a super long time. I was into it literally a few months after all of the first figures came out, like the first two Guts came out, the Black Swordsman and the Band of the Hawk one. So right after those came out, sure enough, my luck was that I got into it. So it was like, I want to say 2014.
Yeah, you've been screaming about
Berserk.
Guts for a minute, man. I'm glad I finally took your advice and checked out the anime, because now it's got me in that fucking world. Oh boy.
Yeah, that world
I didn't
is
realize
wild.
I didn't realize that line was so vast already.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say vast, but they definitely been kicking out figures from the anime since what, 2012?
Yeah.
2012, right?
This past year we got the entire God Hand, which is
Right.
like a super expensive set.
Yes.
Like, if you have all of the God Hand, then you're a real fan. Nobody would spend that kind of money to not actually like the property.
Oh man,
a
they
lot of
got
money.
me. I got two of them coming actually, and I'm gonna get Void through a little situation I got, so I won't be paying full price. But
Dude, I had to do the same thing with so many of them going for so much money.
they got me.
Both of the guts that I have, both of the Band of the Hawk guts that I have, I had to finagle. Like I had to do some shit. Like, I had to trade this and give him that, and like, because I just it's so hard to spend that much money on one single figure, especially when you see like the original retail, like $39.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I gotta pay like 150 for this guy. Like, it gets you. But you may not know it. I don't know if you've ever seen it in Handbook, but just to let you know, that Figma Griffith is probably one of the nicest figures I've ever had in
It
my
fucking
hand.
looks nice,
Like
man.
if I had a top 10 of all time import figures, he'd be in there, or at the very least number 11. Like,
Yeah,
he's
it
such
looks
a nice figure.
very nice, man.
The head sculpt is probably the best head sculpt I've ever seen Figma do. Like it's just like in the show and in the movies, like it's just a beautiful looking fucking head sculpt. It's wild.
Yeah, he was like a super pretty boy in the anime too. Huh?
Super pretty looking dude, and he fights like a monster. Like man, when he stares at people in the show, it's just like oh shit.
All right, Jake, what you got for some of your tops?
Yeah, I was just about to say I had nothing else though.
All right. Honestly, one of my favorite legends isn't even in the 6-inch scale. It's actually the Wolverine from the 12-inch one.
Okay.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're fools for leaving that out.
It's my absolute favorite legend of the year, and I got it late into December, and it just blew me away. The options, the posability. It's like everything we wanted in a Wolverine figure, just like, and for an affordable price. I mean, honestly, $50 for the 12-inch figures. Sometimes I'm like, it's a little much. However, things like Thor and the new Black Panther and Wolverine totally sell me on the line, without a doubt.
Yeah, Thor was really, really nice too, no doubt.
Another runner-up is the Ultimate Chucky by NECA. I've been loving that figure. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's so diverse, and there's so many things you can do with it, and the options are out of this world.
Dude, I'm such a bitch about paying for shipping for NECA Chucky. Like I hate paying shipping for NECA figures. I want to find them in the store. I don't want to pay on eBay and then have to pay like $10 for shipping.
Oh, that kills the value. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love what they are at the store price. Like I don't want to pay a penny over it, man. I'm just a little shit when it comes to that. I want that Chucky so bad.
Yeah, it looks like I've been like on the fence about it for sure. I'm not really like a huge horror fan, honestly, but the figure looks so nice that I was like, should I get it?
Yeah, I like what they did with the skin tone on it because originally it looked kind of painted on. I thought it was going to look kind of tacky, but that skin tone, it's like that nice flesh tone plastic. It looks great in person.
That's a crazy color pull off they did. And every head is like so meticulously done. Each sculpt is perfect. And the fact that you can really range the whole franchise with what's in that box. It's a $25 figure. I can't complain. It's great. The articulation is good for what it is. It's a super tiny figure. You know what I mean? It's in scale, or not really in scale because he's a little big, but almost in scale with 6-inch. And it's the amount of weapons.
How does it scale with other Figma? I mean, other NECA figures, though.
Well, honestly, it's a little big for the NECA figures. I would say it's in scale with the retro line of the like 8-inch. That because Chucky's 2.5 feet tall, if I remember correctly. So he would come up to most of the NECA characters like knees and thighs, but it's like the scale's off. So the bigger ones, it'll fit no problem.
The best comparison is the it actually comes with a little like good guys box inside of the actual figure box that you can put the figure inside of. Those figures are supposed to be like still be able to be held with like 2 arms, but it's supposed to look like it's about 2 feet or so in their hands. So it'll look a little bit better with the 8-inch figures. Yeah,
it actually comes with a yardstick to help with the scale, which works out perfectly.
What's funny though is the clothed version of Chucky that they came out with is also nice. It's a little more limited, but that one is actually perfect scale for 1/6 figures. So if you have a 1/6 horror collection, that's your Chucky.
I have that figure, and it's sitting with my 3A Michael Myers, which was a phenomenal figure. I'm not sure did that drop this year?
I think it came out this year.
All right, I got that one late. I like that one. I'm really, really impressed with what 3A has been doing with the 1/6 scale stuff. They're doing Leatherface. They have the monster from Species. The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones line have been phenomenal. Actually,
the Game of Thrones stuff is incredible.
Yeah, I've seen
The Walking Dead.
The Merle drop this year. I haven't had a chance to grab that, but I heard that was really good.
From 3A?
Yeah, yep. Nice. And the Negan, Michonne, and Daryl supposedly dropped this year, which they look out of this world.
Oh God, I'm sure Michonne looks crazy.
Yeah.
Right, P, what you had for some of your top picks for 2017?
Oh man, wow, that's a difficult question for sure.
Right?
We just all kind of thought of shit and blurted it out.
Yeah, for real. Like SH Figure Arts, Super Vegeta for sure. Like, absolutely no question. The Super Vegeta has been really great.
No doubt.
Damn, that's really all. That's that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. I mean, who else have I gotten? Like, I'm looking around like frantically, trying to figure out. The Ash Satoshi and Red by Figma and SH Figure Arts both came out like really great.
Help me out here. What's the difference between the regular Ash, the one that I have, and the dude with the red jacket? I have no clue.
Oh Lord.
So the newest one from Figma is the guy from the game, and
Okay.
the one that you have is the guy from the TV show. They're two separate people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the one with the red has had his own OVA Pokemon special.
Yeah. So there's an anime of him out there. So like it's
his
weird.
name is Red.
Yeah, his name is Red. Yeah, for sure.
Is he
He's the
like
player character for Redbird.
Is he cooler than Ash?
Yeah, like a more raw version of Ash, or what?
Without a doubt.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
He makes Ash look like a
silent
loser.
protagonist.
He makes Ash look like he should be a Digimon character. It just
Really?
doesn't really fit. It's like crazy.
Damn. Throwing Digimon under the bus.
Yo, Greymon is the way, man. I don't know.
Digitize this. Damn.
What else? I really can't think of anything off the top of my head. The stuff I'll tell you what I really did like this year. NX Edge put out those Mega Man figures, and those are like
yeah, those were
are
nice.
such small, inexpensive figures that they kind of fly under the radar for a lot of people. But I think that these are like, in terms of like getting as accurate as in-game models, like for the Super Nintendo games, I think these are the most accurate to like scale, because like in those games the heads are still really big and stuff like that, but the proportions are off, like chibi characters and stuff. And these are like such great figures, and for only being like $30, it's like really great. I know a lot of people bug out because it has like the sculpted lines in there and whatever, but I mean, I don't care.
You know, that line is one of the reasons why like I stopped buying Nendoroids, because I saw what they were offering at a certain price and what Nendoroid was offering at another price, and I was just like, man, it's just the name of having a Nendoroid, because what NX Edge gives you, because I have the Evangelion ones, and I'm just like, fuck, man, like it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like their detail, their articulation, and their price is all better than Nendoroid has ever been. It's annoying.
Yeah, you're paying for the brand at this point with Nendoroid. It's gotten
exactly.
they've gotten so big that they're just like, it's just, they're self-sufficient now. Like they don't even have to put out like a great figure. Like as long as people know it's a Nendoroid, like they'll buy it. These diehard fans. It's crazy.
What you guys got for sleeper hits? Something that was like unexpectedly really, really good.
I think people slept on those Blade Runner 2049 figures from NECA. Those came out really nice with some new engineering and some really good face sculpts. But honestly, I don't think enough people even saw the movie to give a shit.
Wasn't people joking about Homeboy's head? Wasn't his head kind of like
Gosling's? I mean,
some shit? Pause.
that dude's got a 5 head. You know, it's always going to look no matter what. So yeah, shrunken down, it does tend to look a little weird. But honestly, if you light it right, it's going to look perfect, and it's probably one of the best Harrison Fords for sure.
Is that the new NECA tagline? If you light it right.
If you light it right, if you light the head right, it's
all about lighting, baby. Come on, good lighting still a shitty figure. Ask Adam Smith. But they all have double jointed elbows too, so that's like an interesting, kind of piece of engineering that they're going to try.
Welcome to 2006, NECA.
They did it.
My god!
All right, well, I don't even know why I opened my mouth. Never mind.
No, wait, hold on. I love NECA, and I their figures are great, and I love the alien figures that have come out this year, like the Cameron as a Colonial Marine and stuff, and the engineering is great. However, I can admit wholeheartedly that they are definitely behind the times with some of the articulation, but they're getting there.
No doubt.
Same time Mezco releases another figure, they'll be there.
That's why we're gonna exclude McFarlane from this conversation, because they're just now starting to tout 14 points.
I got the
14 whole points of
McFarlane Negan, and I was so mad. I was so angry that I paid money for that figure.
Wow.
If we're talking Aliens releases, though, that Cameron was kind of weak, to be honest. It's all just pre-sculpted parts.
I bought McFarlane's Spawn in the hopes of like, man, at least it'll be a cool statue. And literally, right out of the box, the both of the hands just broke off, and I was like, well, fuck me, right?
I'll say I almost got that Commando Spawn because it had that nice retro packaging.
That was the best thing that came from those Spawns. I took both of their guns, and everybody always asked me like, damn, dude, where'd you get that gun from? And I'm just like, well, you have to buy a terrible fucking figure to get it.
At least now it's always rusted like $3 clearance out, so the guns are actually worth it at this point.
The Labyrinth
time for a
figure
double
that
up.
came out with was good too, actually.
Oh, I love that. That
Totally
Jared,
totally
wonderful. Yes, absolutely.
But they're doing that face printing tech as well, so that David Bowie, like, they did him justice.
Oh, also the McFarlane did the Stranger Things figures, and I feel like those they just dropped. I think they are ugly, but people seem to like them. I have them. I haven't cracked them.
The 11. Yeah. The 11 is ugly, but the Hopper has a weird expression, but he's spot on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been able to find those. I think they really
your GameStop
targeting those towards just casual people at Target and the checkout lines. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love art stuff.
I love both of them. It was a good first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
They did. The problem with 11 was that they did the digital paint but didn't do the digital sculpt, and they gave her like the head sculpt of the mean kid that lives next door to Andy.
She looks like Eminem.
Yeah,
he's weak.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, that's your Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
You heard it here first.
Somebody send that to Dave Castle to get it a shrink. I need it now.
If we're talking Aliens releases, though, I got to say the Vasquez was probably the strongest Marine they put out this year.
Yes, phenomenal figure. I love the. Are you talking about the one with the
any version? Any version.
The one in the camo fatigues without the giant gun. I end up settling for that one. I love that figure way more than I thought I would, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's good. And then if you have the Kenner one, that one's really nice as well. Just to have like, if you're part of the Alien Club, they gave you like the whole backdrop and stuff too. That looks like the whole backdrop. So it's just nice to fill that whole thing out.
Because I have that Ripley.
Why hasn't anybody brought up the real best figure of 2017? Fidget spinner.
Yes.
There we go.
I will be
officially back at it. The Fidget Spin podcast.
It's incredible.
Weren't mad kids getting injured and shit with fidget spinners toward the?
Yeah, because they were getting beat by the cooler kids with them.
Brass knuckles are illegal.
Come back here with the
Beyblade, son. Fidget knuckles. Fidget knuckle boxing.
2018, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I tell you what, though, whoever came up with the idea for the fidget spinner didn't even capitalize as much as they could on that item, apparently, because every no-name brand company had a fidget spinner out. So,
yeah, they should have trademarked the design.
Right.
Cool.
Actually, there's a woman. I don't know if you've heard the story. There's a woman who like claimed to do it, and it's like. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into this rant because it's dumb. But fidget spinners need to stay in 2017. We gotta get out of here.
Man, I got one of the stuff, and ever since then, my productivity is just down. Time
is literally spinning away.
We gotta get Trump a fidget spinner. That's what we need.
A really small one.
It's huge.
Anything else for sleeper hits?
I still stand by Marvel Legends Vulture bath. I think that thing.
Yeah, you know what? That was a good one.
Really impressive.
Yeah.
I think that thing's impressive.
And
the head articulation is probably the best any Legends has ever had.
Oh, Mezco Red Skull for sure.
Oh, Mezco
a lot
Red
of people
Skull
slept
nice.
on that.
Either version, I ended up getting both. They're both fucking great. I was more happy with the Comic-Con version than I thought I would be.
You know what? I started to get the Comic-Con one. I had it in my hand and I gave it to somebody else. But yeah, it's all
Only
good.
for the aftermarket value.
It's all good. I'm super, super duper selective with Mezco stuff. But I do have the classic cap. I think it's the classic cap I have. So I was like, I should get Red Skull. I haven't even opened cap yet. I'm kind of waiting for Iron Man to come out and for them to do a Thor. So
Iron Man, you mean the one that goes on pre-order tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Man, speaking of Mezco, one of the best figures Mezco did this year, and is an improvement on its match, Red Arrow, Arsenal.
Yeah, Red Arrow was good.
Came out much better than Green Arrow. I thought was okay, and he did a much better job of with everything that he had on him. The articulation, the bow, the string, everything was a lot better with Arsenal.
Didn't the BVS Batman and Superman come out this year? Because I think that was a lot of people's top Batman.
Oh, that Batman was great.
Yeah.
I think it came out in January. It was like super early, right?
Yeah, right.
Because
I know I got Punisher in like March, and it was definitely before that.
I got the armored one of that one.
Oh, I slept on it. I also had it in hand.
That Punisher
sold it to the Beltrans, and I want it back.
That Punisher is going to be the bane of my existence, man. I paid for it on Amazon, and then get this: when it was on its way to me, I canceled it and they shipped it back.
Fuck you!
It's the biggest mistake of my life.
Bro, what?
I was just like, man, I'll buy this later. And, man,
The bane of my existence.
I was like, man, I'll buy this shit later. Oh, what a terrible damn mistake that was.
No, I think
And it
Mezco's
was the
definitely-
PX edition. It was not, the simple one, too. Damn.
You also said that to Bitcoin last year, so it all
Yeah,
works.
that's what happened to Bitcoin too.
Where's,
I'll buy it later.
where's Bitcoin at right now?
like 15, 17K.
Yeah.
And it was at a high of like 18 2 weeks
Yeah, I
ago.
know it had went up
Jesus
and dropped down a bit.
Yeah, that shit was $700 at the beginning of 2017.
I'll
Really?
never forget
Yeah.
my
Talk
friend
about a
in
sleeper hit.
2014 started.
So was Punisher.
My friend in 2014 was like, dude, we should start mining Bitcoins. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not going to be mining Bitcoins. Put it this way, that guy doesn't talk to no one no more. And he's
Yeah, I'm
leaving it.
Oh,
sure.
Everyone's into Bitcoin, guys. You all got to switch to Ethereum.
Yeah, we got to buy partial Bitcoins. We got to buy 1% of a Bitcoin.
I'm invested in Enron. Y'all don't even know.
Damn. No more spills in 2018.
Yeah, you know me.
All right, so let's what else we got on the agenda? Let's move forward into some of the other things we wanted to talk
Well, we did just
about.
mention the Mezco pre-order for Iron
For
Man.
tomorrow, right? What time is that supposed to go on? Is it 9 a.m. Eastern time? Is that it?
I believe so. That's usually what time it goes up.
So that's
Is that thing a
6
Mezco only?
a.m. Pacific time.
I don't think so. I don't think it's
Okay.
Mezco exclusive, but
They
that's
usually
just
have a
what's going on
clock up,
here.
don't they?
A what?
Don't they usually have like a clock up for?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
I'm super excited for this Iron Man. This thing looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
I'm excited to see the variants. People are already talking about those.
Oh, yes.
I didn't even think about that.
If they're just about to put out the pre-order for this one, they have at least 2 others that they're probably holding back for a little
There's
longer.
a stealth waiting.
Hit
Absolutely.
me with that stealth.
Yeah,
Dude,
somebody.
hit me with that silver Centurion. Change out the shoulder pads. That's all you need, and the emblem.
Oh man,
Somebody,
Silver Centurion.
share a
My
picture of it.
money.
Fabio, share some pictures of it.
I'm going.
But yeah, tomorrow
Oh, you know
for
what?
Iron Man, and it's only on Mezco site, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's not even on their website yet. On their Facebook page. All right, here we go. Whoa. I'm looking for a job at Facebook, guys.
Nice.
Nice.
Fuck. What is going on? It's just like stuck in this page. Come on. There we go. This is net neutrality, guys, in action.
We got Mezco coming out. We got the Mezco Iron Man coming out. Some stuff just came out. While he looks for this picture, some stuff just dropped from Legends right at the top of the year.
Yeah, we got that Black Panther out already.
The
Date on that was the first.
Shuri and Claw 2-pack, yeah, and that other Black Panther that I actually showed a few minutes ago. It was a picture by whose picture was that? I think it was I don't know, I can't remember right now. But yeah, that Black Panther is dropping. I think that's a Walgreens exclusive, or is
No, I think it's Walmart.
Walmart? Okay.
Walmart.
The one with all the purple lines, right?
And
Yeah.
the Black Panther Wave dropped actually right before the new year.
Just picked up that black.
Yeah, but the official street date on it was the first.
Was it? Okay.
I got the
Yeah.
case, and that's what it said. But yeah,
All
some
right.
retailers put it out early.
Okay, yeah, this Iron Man looks amazing. Let me get
That's
you.
going to be that weird one at the end of 2018. People are like, is it a 2017 or 2018 release?
So yeah, I remember talking to Pierre about this, saying how they had the classic look, but his helmet didn't flip up like that in the classic look. So that was kind of like a little mashup, I guess they did there. The entire helmet came off on what
I think what they said is that the it's magnetic, so you could put it up or you could put it down, or you can
You know
take
what?
it off entirely.
I think that they took that feature out. I feel like I remember saying that they couldn't work it out and they took that feature out. Don't quote me on that. Not 100% sure, but I feel like I definitely heard that.
I mean, from this sculpt, you can definitely do a stealth variant. Just
Is it gonna have a fucking ankle pivot though?
No.
who knows?
Nah.
They have been getting better, to be honest. I mean,
Well, I mean,
Let's see what I-
technically, if they really wanted to be nice, they could absolutely have put a ankle pivot on this because it's not like it's one of their bucks that they already had. They had to do some new sculpting for this, right?
There's going to be variants, at least a ton of them, because they got to get that money back from the mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the
No question.
And that's why the stealth variant makes sense because it's literally just a straight up recolor.
right.
Silver Centurion did have to put new shoulders on it and a new chest piece, but it is doable.
Yeah, this is going to be highly sought after because it's like there's no cloth.
That might be. I mean, in my opinion, that's going to be my definitive Iron Man.
Yeah, I can see a lot of people working in this in with like 6-inch lines of other kind.
Yeah, no question. No question. Iron Man will be fighting everybody come.
I mean, they did a good job capturing that classic silhouette, but really updating it.
Oh,
when is it actually supposed to release though?
Who knows?
2046, I think it says down there.
I mean, I'm on the Mezco page, and it's not even up here as a pre-order yet. So tomorrow it should say the release date.
Yeah, they'll probably update it at like 12 o'clock Eastern time tonight or some shit. 12 a.m.
You know, I did manage to get the exclusive Deadpool. They had a few extras a little while ago that they just found in their warehouse ready to ship. I ended up picking one up.
What was exclusive about it? Is that the one that came with Headpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, also,
I
it has a
just
cool
opened
foil
my
sticker on the packet.
Deadpool
That's important.
today.
Which one? Is it the exclusive one or the regular one?
You got the regular
It's the regular one. I got the regular one.
Okay, yeah. It's still a really nice figure though.
No, it's the exact same. There's nothing different except the tray and the
Oh
accessories.
shit. Yeah, I just remembered that I fucking I won the Sculptor Shelf's photo contest, and he's sending me one of those I got to pick between the heads that he does, and he's sending me the Old Man Logan head, so I think I'm gonna pop that on the Old Man Logan that we get from Mezco in February 2019.
You know, I'm glad I got the yellow Wolverine though, because that head is going to look really good. That Logan head is going to look good on Old Man Logan.
Wait, which one?
The yellow Wolverine that comes with the Logan head.
Which yellow? The Mezco one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that the Old Man Logan head's going to look good on that body?
No, the regular Logan head is going to look good on the Old Man Logan body.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Okay. All right. So we got that dropping tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in pre-ordering the Iron Man, then you should be up at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time. I believe. I guess by the end of this program, we will get a definitive answer on that. But I think the last time that they did Mezco site exclusive, it was that time. I believe it was the Wolverine, the last one that they did, the yellow suit Wolverine. And I do remember being at work when I ordered it, so I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. So yeah, that's that.
It's really early because I remember that when I got my friends telling me about the Wolverine, I was like, damn man, I was still asleep.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta set your alarms.
That's kind of weird that they do that. You would think they would wait till 12 Eastern time, so it'll be 9 a.m. Pacific, but they don't give a fuck. They just try to get that bread.
Getting that paper and
Right. They're just trying to get the bread. It don't matter what coast it comes from. So yeah, you'll see 100 people buying multiples of it. I don't know if they're gonna put the limit at 6 like they did last time, but
I hope they don't.
But obviously, if they do that, then and you don't get one, then you're definitely gonna pay $555. So
yeah, what do we see the aftermarket value on this one looking like?
Well, I thought it's not an exclusive to the website.
It's
sure?
not. It's not exclusive. It would have the sticker like this one does or that one.
It's still man. Yo, Mezco collectors, man, they're a pain in the fucking ass. So like,
they probably will still have like a Mezco Direct version though, a different variant.
Stealth. No.
So
I think that's going to be the previews exclusive because that seems to be the trend with preview stuff is that it's all black colorways. You got your X Forces and Black Adam, I guess. Stealth.
Oh, true.
Stealth Deathstroke is coming out, PX style. So it would make sense.
I didn't even pick up on that. You're right.
How about that Stealth Deathstroke though? I'm definitely getting that one.
Fire.
Oh, that one looks really nice.
That is 100%. You can't tell me otherwise. The Teen Titans version.
Yo.
I haven't really views of the Deathstroke that just came out. How was it?
It's good, man. People are complaining about the baggy pants.
Yeah, pants are a little baggy.
You know
They're
what?
honestly the same tailoring as Punisher. So if you're cool with Punisher,
the pants wouldn't have been bad if there had been straps or pads to take out that space, because the difference with Punisher is that he's known for wearing military baggy pants, but there's literally no pictures you can find of Deathstroke wearing baggy pants. Doesn't happen.
But
he wears skin tight.
So you said it's the same. You said it's the same tailoring as the Punisher pants,
it's
though,
the
right?
Exact same tailoring as the regular Punisher, because it's got the tight upper body shirt and then the loose baggy pants, and they're stitched together the same way. The reason it does look a little more, baggy is because the boots go up a little higher, so they make it kind of look like it billows out more in comparison to Punisher, which has a more like mid-calf boot. But honestly, it's the same fucking tailoring.
Yeah, but it works for one character and it doesn't for another.
Fabio, drop your messenger.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, I don't need a screen share anymore, right? We got the gist of this Iron Man.
Yeah. But what else we got? Well, we didn't talk about The Last Jedi at all, did we?
We did not.
No,
that was long before we were gone.
So, real quick, Fabio, what you thought?
You know what? I liked it when I was in theaters, like sitting down enjoying it. I was really like having a good time watching it. There were a few things that could have been visually better. The one thing that everyone complains about was that Leia thing, and that to me wasn't like a far-fetched plot element.
Speak freely, man. It's quite a while after the movie dropped.
Yeah.
So we got
almost left her in that Leia scene.
Yeah, you know what? I don't
so bad, bro. Like I was physically aggravated that my eyes witnessed this.
And that's the thing, that they made it
a little
look
nuts.
really bad. It didn't look good. It wasn't visually appealing. Like I get the physics behind it, and I get the reasoning why she was able to do that in a certain way.
It made no sense at all.
None.
What do you mean none? She's known to be, force sensitive, and I'm not even the biggest.
She's like 78 and has done nothing in the movies in terms of force.
She's known for it, but not in the films. Like it's been talked about before, but
it's been talked about in the films.
What?
I mean, no, man, no, don't do that,
bro.
Don't do that.
My sister has it. I have it. Whatever. He says it in Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
I mean, he said one sentence once, and it's been talked about. I mean, I didn't hate the
literally
scene.
What
like
having one sentence means.
Like a lot of other people, I didn't hate the scene, or anything like that. So let's make that clear. I didn't hate it or anything.
No, I didn't hate it either. I didn't hate the reasoning of it, but again, it just looked visually terrible. But anyway, moving on, because
that's what I did hate about it. That's what I did hate about it. That it didn't make sense. Like it would have been cool if it was something that we've seen. Even if it was just minor uses of the force, like that was a mega use of the force. Like she
he detects Luke in Cloud City. Remember that? She's the one that was able to detect, with the force or whatever, Luke when he was hanging below Cloud City. After the fight.
All right, I'll give you that too. But
but detecting somebody and flying are two very different
things. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
Technically, you could argue that she wasn't flying in zero gravity of space.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. As a limited force,
it would be called levitating because we're in space.
All right. So that scene. All right. But overall, how'd you feel about the movie, though?
I liked the movie. What I liked is that it was different. It felt like they were trying to do something different. Like if at no point did we. I think people would have been more upset if they'd pretty much done Empire Strikes Back over again. I think people would have been more upset about that. So I like that they tried to do something a little different in terms of like how they show the force powers and stuff like that. The one biggest thing writing wise that was awful was the side plot with Finn and Rose when they go to the casino planet. The setup for it was terrible and the execution was bad because at the end of it, they spend all this time talking about how it's like about freeing the little people and someone's got to fight for them, but they end up just freeing these goddamn animals and leaving the slave children behind. So what was the point? Now, writing wise, I also hated the Rose character because that entire romance with Finn was completely ham-fisted. There was really no no build up to it whatsoever. And I think it would have been stronger for the Rose character to have her sort of mirror her sister's sacrifice at the beginning of the movie and have her share a point of view with Finn where they are both trying to run away from the rebellion because they're both scared. That way you can kind of have them commiserate when they go off on this side plot. And then at the end, when Finn is trying to sacrifice himself to kill the battering ram thing, she should have still pushed him out of the way, but then sacrificed herself, which resolves the storyline of her trying to live up to what her sister did.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't know why they didn't just kill her. I mean, honestly, like Rose and Finn were just like some real like comic relief bullshit. But anyway, Jake, what'd you think of the movie overall?
Here's the thing: if you can like light speed jump into another ship to destroy it, why is there even like? Why is it even a factor anymore? Can't you just keep sending things in a light speed to destroy ships from mad far away? How is it even a Star Wars? It should be a. I don't know. Look,
well,
man, what.
Do Americans send their planes on kamikaze runs? Like,
bro,
that's expensive
have you seen America? We have Predator planes. It
right,
works.
but
we figured it out.
You get the sentiment though. Like, it's not. It's. I think it's less believable to have the rebellion, who's supposed to be this like bare bones, only a few ships left in the fleet, having them sacrifice ships left and right wouldn't make sense.
No, here's the thing. It would be better than sacrificing all these lives, yeah. Because the ships are going to get destroyed anyway.
Yeah, that is true. They all ended up getting destroyed when they ran out of fuel anyways.
Right. So it's like,
yeah, but all those ships didn't have light speed either. Those are all shuttles.
My biggest
had light speed.
I'm pretty sure all the ships had light speed. How you go anywhere without light speed?
My biggest thing with that scene. My biggest thing with that scene is that who cares about Hoda, about that lady? Who cares about her killing herself for the cause? Like, oh no, not the admiral that pissed us off the entire film.
Right.
He's gonna die. Killed off Admiral Akbar anyways. You should have made Admiral Akbar be the one to do it.
Right, 100%.
You killed a beloved character. We're like, no, Akbar.
Right. There was no emotional impact behind Laura Dern's character because we're meant to not like her from the beginning because she's at odds with Poe. And here's the other thing.
Exactly.
Hold on, real quick before you finish. I kind of glazed over the Akbar thing. Like, that was annoying that happened off screen. But yeah,
it's a wrap.
Literally in name only, they said that he died.
That was some fucking bullshit.
But the whole reason that storyline with Rose and Finn kick off is because of that dumb lack of communication between Poe and Laura Dern, whatever her name was. And I get why they wanted to do that, because Poe's storyline in this is that he's supposed to kind of stop being the Maverick and learn how to kind of take orders. That's his arc throughout the movie, and we see that at the end when he leaves with the people to try to escape from the back of the cave or whatever. So that's fine, and that satisfied that. But it's terrible writing when the entire subplot is only in effect because you forgot to put one extra piece of dialogue, or one little piece of information could have explained the whole thing away, and that undoes it. I don't disagree to have the storyline, make it better, yes, but you need a better way to set it up or not have it be because of miscommunication.
No, I agree, but so Finn was my favorite part of The Force Awakens, and Finn was my least favorite part in terms of character progression in The Last Jedi. I felt like his character progressed the least.
Jacob, what are you talking about? You didn't want to see a terribly veiled animal cruelty
right on top
thing
of
going on with the casino
metaphor.
Planet. Yeah, come on.
Bro,
I
was heartbroken. I was I'm so ready to see the adventures of Finn and other people.
You came in at the best time, Jake, because I was just about to say, I honestly, all the nitpicks aside, there's only one complaint I have about this film, and it is that I absolutely hate the character of Rose, and I think she ruined so much of this film.
Agreed.
Let me begin by saying why very quickly. The whole point of this character to go to that ship and undo whatever the hell it was that she was supposed to do that I don't even remember, because her useless ass couldn't achieve her own goal. If they were going to end up on that ship anyways, why didn't they just go to the ship? Why did they go to this planet and then it's just so dumb. It was so dumb. And then, I was really happy at the end because I was like, oh my God, this girl is going to redeem herself. She was useless, but she's going to kill herself to save Finn. So cool. And then she went...
Push me to the
edge.
And
then when she ended up being alive, I was like, oh my God, we're going to get this terrible love triangle that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Look at Ray's, when Ray turned over to look at Rose, she's like, "Who is this bitch?" Exactly what the entire audience said. Like, who the fuck is this?
This is
Wow.
what happens when there's no master plan going into a film franchise.
Rose's
Where's
character
Kevin
would have
Feige?
That's what I mean, is that they set it up so beautifully for her to like want to be in like her sister's shirt. You know, she's in her sister's shadow and she's like, you know, a coward compared to her. She's like, she doesn't know if she can sacrifice herself. Like, that's such beautiful fucking mirroring you have at the end, and boom, problem solved. You get rid of an unlikable character and you resolve, you know, an arc throughout the movie.
Yeah,
That
and
would be kind of
and you
racist,
push,
actually. I don't
and
know.
you push the character
Right on the low. On the low.
It would have been more racist if Finn died, because it would have been just like a horror movie where everybody splits up and the black guy dies first.
Yeah, it would have been so much better for the character of Finn too. That like, damn, dude, look at everything I went through. He could have even ended up loving the girl at the end still, and she would have died, and it would have been fine. And it would have pushed him to another level. He could have started wearing that chain that her and her sister wore. It could have been great for that character. But now it's like, oh man, do I like the girl that's a badass, or do I like the annoying chubby one that just gets in the way? I don't know.
I always go for the chubby one.
Okay. All right. So
They tend to blossom out better.
nobody really hated it, but you definitely.
No, I mean, visually, I think it was
dislike
stunning.
some parts, no question. But
I think we can all agree, though, that the throne room fight was probably one of the best ever put to screen.
yeah, but
Oh,
it
I
wasn't.
loved it.
It wasn't
That was
enough though.
It wasn't satisfying.
It
at
wasn't
all.
enough. It wasn't enough lightsaber battles in general in the entire movie. It wasn't enough lightsaber stuff. We should have saw Luke do his thing one last time, like, you know what I'm saying, with the lightsaber, not some like projection bullshit. That was bullshit.
He straight up turned the lightsaber on in the dude's fucking eye. Jesus.
Yeah. That was,
That was
I mean,
wild.
in terms of like how the fight was presented, though, I think it was one of like the best choreographed, like just most gritty fights that they've done. You know, like there's the moment when the guard's got her, you know, has got Gray with the thing up against her throat, and then there's the moment where he like flexes and like brings it even closer. Like that shit was like visceral. I like that.
My only problem with that scene was that it just I mean, you could have written it so that Snoke didn't die until after, because it just makes no sense that they're just all willing to die. Like, dude, these idiots know they're not going to beat two Jedi, and they're still just like, oh, the person we serve is dead. Let's fight you now.
Right. But
Like,
if you
he's
have,
literally their
you have
new
to
de facto
capacity
leader.
Snoke somehow, because clearly he's strong enough to fuck shit up on his own.
That is true. I guess there wouldn't have been another way, but it was just like, you know, I don't know why they weren't just like, shit, this guy's the new leader. Let's bow down, because that's
Yeah.
what literally everyone else does in the
Honestly,
film.
that's what should have happened. I mean, yes, you get rid of the fight scene, but it does make sense because then you have him forming the new Knights of Ren.
Well, I don't know if it makes sense or not, because we still don't really know who the fuck those guys are.
Well, people speculated that they were the Knights of Ren, but
yeah, people
We don't even know who
speculated,
Snoke is,
but
really.
we needed some definitive answers, man. Like I left out of the movie not giving a fuck about episode 9, basically.
Nope.
Like, you know what I'm saying? After episode 7, I was like, yeah, this is not exactly what I wanted, but I feel like they're just kind of pacing it, and the next one's going to be dark, and it's going to be gritty, and it's going to be this and that. And traditionally, I guess the third movie is usually the darkest one, right? So, but I don't know. Still, this movie didn't. I don't know. I don't feel excited about seeing anything beyond this for Star Wars right now.
I'm ready for the trilogy to be over.
Right.
one thing
I'm
I
ready
really
for the shit
enjoyed
to
about
end.
this
Yeah.
movie, thematically, I think this movie did a good job of addressing, you know, what they say in the movie is the legend of Luke Skywalker or whatever. So to me, they felt like kind of a wink nudge to the audience, as to say that all the stories that you've like made up on your own and all of your theories you had about how this movie and the saga was going to go, those are the legends, and here's like the reality. It's like completely it almost felt like they wanted to subvert that and make a nod to it in the movie.
They totally did it on purpose. They were totally like, every theory you have, wrong.
Right. And then they underline that by saying, oh, that's all like, you know, myths and fairy tales, and the reality of it is like Luke is really just a broken old man. He's not this shining knight that everybody talked about.
And he was acting so goofy, man. I don't.
Yoda
know,
was
man.
acting
I had a-
goofy. I'll tell you
Yeah,
something.
Yoda was acting like he was
like
off
Red
the
Boss.
fucking. He was acting like he was off the Hennessy, man. He was
drunk
acting
as
real
hell.
silly.
He was acting like, I think Fernando had brought this up at one point. What do you call it? He was acting like if you were to be like the way he was when Luke first meets him, and he's got the facade of being like a crazy dude.
Oh,
Right,
He
right.
just randomly is still acting that way. Also,
Right.
the puppet, like, okay, CGI Yoda's okay, guys. Like, can we just do that from now on? The puppet thing is terrible.
He was your
The
avatar.
puppet
Master
didn't
Roshi.
bother me.
well, I think it
too
makes more
much.
sense to use the puppet Yoda because it's more closely to the timeline when Puppet Yoda was like. It's almost like Puppet Yoda is like old Yoda, and then CGI Yoda is when he's still a little bit younger.
And not just that, but like I mean, I'm sure you can tell in the films that Star Wars fans are very, very, very obsessed with having puppets instead of CGI. So if they were to do CGI, they would have gotten literally just as many complaints as they do now, because people hate it when they don't use puppets.
I think
They're just so well known
just like
for
to
it that
complain.
people want it. Yeah, well, that as well. People just like to complain.
No, when it comes to Star Wars, I feel like there's like the big meme right now is that they should remake it with a million
That's
different
Solo.
endings. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like there's no right way the franchise can go for every one person.
Dude, listen, all we
And
need
that's
is
why-
bigger
that's why I
nipples
like
on
the
Kylo
interest.
Ren, and we're gonna win.
That's all we need. You know what I mean?
Yo, P,
Show me
what
the
do you
way.
think? First of all, I totally forgot to mention that P was actually here in New York City when Force Awakens. Whoa, when The Last Jedi dropped, and me, him, and his new wife and my girl, we all went to see it together. So that was one. So that was the experience of us seeing The Last Jedi. But when we came out, he seemed to have loved it. I was just like still on the fence, but
I thought it was okay. I mean, like I liked it as a standalone film. Like I think at this point, I've really just accepted that. I mean, it's called Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars. It's not the same type of. It's not going in the same direction as the older films. It's definitely Disney's version of Star Wars, and I think I accepted that a long time ago. So I've just pretty much just taken it for what it is.
you're at peace with it right now, huh?
Yeah.
You're
So
about
like,
to lay down. The medication is in you. So,
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I went into it just kind of like, well, I already knew it was up with The Force Awakens. I already knew that it was going to do some things that I didn't expect. I had my own theories, obviously. Me and John, Papa Sergio, we're like the kings of saying crazy ass theories.
yeah, John definitely is a theory master.
So I just came out knowing that what I wanted wasn't going to happen anyways, and I guess it just kind of like numbed the feeling of not seeing what I had in mind for the series, and I'm just kind of like, hey man, as long as I don't have to see Rose, I don't think I'm going to care. I don't want to see Rose. I hate her.
All right, so we talked about The Last Jedi. We got our special guest here with us now. Russ, I hope you can hear me, but Russ is here, ShartimusPrime. So I know you put up a couple of top 10 videos. Just want to backtrack for a minute and let you get in your some of your top picks for 2017 and tell us how you felt about The Last Jedi too. But welcome, man. It's great to have you here. Before you answer, I just want to say it's great to have you here, man. Congratulations to you on a new baby. Congratulations to you and Nina. But yeah, go ahead, man. Do you think? Talk.
Oh, right on. Hey, thanks, Boog. Yeah, thanks for having me here, you guys. Yeah, this is a long time since I've done a podcast, so I'm really stoked to do it. It's been quite a while, man. So yeah, thanks for having me on
Dude, I
the
think
show.
the last one I remember.
I can't even remember the last
BKBN.
time. Wait, what'd you say, Rick? What'd you say, Rick?
I said
What'd
the
you say,
last
Rick?
podcast I remember. The last podcast I remember Russ on was the BKBN podcast that they had back in the day when Sean was launching the site.
Yeah, I think the last time that I spoke to you.
Connection with Pixel Dan and Sean Long.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh yeah, that was it.
But I also had my own podcast where I interviewed Dave Bonner, and that lasted one episode.
I remember that.
You mean the star of the Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
Yeah, I actually watched the first 4 episodes, just 4 episodes right now.
Yeah, I still haven't even seen it.
Oh,
How'd you guys like it though? It's great.
Yeah. I loved it.
All right. So, what was some of your top picks for 2017? Any line, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was so hard. I kind of had to give it to that Hot Toys Hulkbuster by default. A lot of people are upset about
Oh yeah,
that.
that's not fair.
But that thing was amazing. I mean, it's kind of like just because it costs a ton of money, I don't think it should like lose eligibility for being a true badass. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if they let anybody in
What,
my tax bracket own that thing.
What were the monthly payments for Hulkbuster?
What would I do? I don't know. I don't know how they had it set up. Like what, $100 a month or something like that. I don't know.
Nah, it was probably less than that. How long was it on pre-order?
I think it was like 45 a month. I think I looked into it when I was delusional or something. So
No, there's no way I was gonna do
from the time that it went up for pre-order till it's released, though, how long was that? Was it like 8 months or what?
Oh,
it was longer than that, right?
I think
Because they delayed it a bit.
I think it was at least a year.
It was a year. Okay, all right. So yeah, you had plenty of time if you did a monthly thing. I mean, Russ, I know you didn't do that, but I ain't gonna fucking blow you up. But
No. I mean, and I think it's worth it to people that are like diehard. I mean, there's a lot of Hot Toys collectors that really focus on Iron Man, and I think it's really for those guys. You know what I mean? Like if you've already invested like a few grand in your Hot Toys Iron Man collection, it makes sense to drop another grand into your Iron Man collection. You know?
yeah, no doubt. I remember when you were here and you showed me that War Machine figure, and he was like, Boog, if you get a Hot Toys figure, one of your first ones should be an Iron Man. Like you get the most for your money with an Iron Man figure. I didn't listen to you. I got Deadpool, but it's all good.
That was before they had the technology where the fabric was like sturdy, how it is on that Deadpool figure, right? Because we didn't. I wouldn't have said. I don't think I would have said that if that Deadpool was out. You know,
no doubt.
There's a lot of 1/6 collectors that pretty much only collect Hot Toys Iron Man. Like they're just working towards a complete Hall of Armor, and that's their Hot Toys collection.
You mean 70% of China?
They're all about it, man. Robot.
That's funny. So yeah, what else did you have besides Hot Toys Hulkbuster? What else did you have in the top for 2017?
And then Jim Lee Cyclops. I love that Jim Lee Cyclops figure. I don't know what it was, but at first I was kind of just underwhelmed by it because I was like, man, I'm just used to this body mold, and I was just a little bit, I was aching a little bit over there not being any kind of paint detail on any of the figures in that wave.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, just at the moment, a little underwhelmed. But then over time, like every time I looked at that figure on the shelf, it just made me happy seeing it. So I don't know, my opinions change, and I really love that figure. I thought that was great. We got some really good Marvel Legends this year, though, dude. There's so many good figures.
Yeah, we were all talking about that a little while ago. Go ahead, man. Talk. You could.
I could talk about Marvel Legends all day. So yeah, I mean, there were just some really good Build-A-Figures. I mean, that Vulture Build-A-Figure. I mean, I think that was a success. And
it was really impressive once you had it built. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, and I honestly think the wingspan may have been even a little bit bigger on the figure compared to how it looked in the movie. I don't know, because
it had what I think is probably the best neck articulation any Marvel Legends has ever had. The neck articulation is wild.
Yeah. No, and actually, I think they're doing pretty good on neck articulation, like across the board too. Like I
completely agree.
Less and less disappointed with with head movement on the figures, especially with flying characters, and they brought in that softer material for the hair, like they said they would.
Yep.
And I mean, come on. I mean, but there's still other things that I want from them too. It's kind of funny. It's like I feel like I have a split personality because while I love the toy line and I love the changes that are being made to it, like I see it consistently changing for the better, but at the same time, there's things that disappoint me about it, and I get really frustrated at the same time. It's kind of like a relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like a relationship, it's like you love, and then at the same time, there's like, it's your turn to, wipe up the poo-poo. I don't want to wipe up the poo-poo.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it is a lot like a relationship where you're just like, yes, I finally got her to start doing this, but then she still does all of this. What the fuck?
Yeah. So nothing's perfect.
A relationship where you're dating a lot of bitches at once, though, huh?
I mean,
Jenny ain't clipping her toenails every day. This one over here don't clean their house. It's not ending.
Yeah, my relationship with Nick is all right. I mean, he hits me every now and then, but then he's nice later, and I always come back.
Yeah,
so
you absolutely married to NECA, and you don't cheat, motherfucker.
I think I'm in an abusive cycle. I think that's what it's called.
So what else you have? What'd you have from Import Company as one of your top picks, Russ?
Harley Quinn stands out just immediately. Can you think of a better figure? Really?
Harley Quinn from Figure Arts?
Yes.
Yeah, Figure Arts Harley Quinn was nice. You know what? I didn't mention her at all, but that was actually a really nice figure. I didn't mention her in any of my list, but that was a nice
Figure,
figure.
2017 for sure.
I was about to say she was figure booty of the year, no question.
Yeah, I mean, but ever. I mean, really, what
Period.
there's that what Play Arts Kai Catwoman had a really nice one.
I was about to say Chun-Li is a close second, but she's got more of the thighs going than the butt.
Yeah, kind of gets distorted because of the thick thighs.
Yeah, Cammy came out this year, and she probably could have topped, but they messed up on that figures. But actually, it wasn't.
Somebody actually sent me a
That was
picture
weird.
of them cutting off the extra butt skin.
Really?
They just cut it off with an X-Acto knife. It didn't look too bad, but it kind of looked like it had a bit of a gap.
I don't
Some
want to do a
true plastic
surgery on a figure.
I've never done that on an import. I could do it to a Marvel Legend, but not an import figure. I can't. I don't know. Just the money spent on those things. Like, nah.
What about did anybody get the Mezco Harley Quinn?
No.
Nobody, right?
I didn't get it.
Cricket.
C-section Harley? Nah.
Yeah.
I think her face sculpt looks the weirdest out of all the main.
It doesn't even look like Margot Robbie. It just looks like a girl cosplaying as Harley Quinn who
Some
had a
crazy
C-section. Exactly.
It looks
Got a
weird
son
for
with
sure.
at Comic
It's
Con.
literally like Halloween
That's
at Foxy Lady. That's it.
And her kid is right outside of the shot that you take with her in the stroller, like waiting for his mom to stop taking the picture. Like, damn, hurry up.
But she's proud of him. That's what matters. That's her king. That's her world.
He's
He
mad
loves
big. He's
comics
like
too.
6.
He loves comics too, I swear.
He's like 6 in a stroller and shit.
Yeah, he's got the iPad to some weird ass toy review from like
It's
Silly
just
Putty
like
and
Spider-Man
Thomas
and
the Train.
Elsa. Oh god.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the Last Jedi, Russ? That's what we were talking about right before.
Oh
you
yeah, great
came
conversation. I caught the last few minutes of you guys talking about that. I'm glad someone mentioned Cloud City because yeah, Leia totally uses the Force in the original movies.
Told you.
She
All
totally.
right,
used the Force.
but
That's how they
how'd you feel about that scene with her using it?
All right. So, okay, so I enjoyed the movie while I was watching it. I was entertained by it, but when I left the movie the first time I watched it, I thought to myself, I think I like this. I wasn't really sure, and I kept thinking about it. I watched everybody's review. Like, I just kept on watching reviews and just thinking about it more and more until finally I saw it again with the wife, the baby, and then I kind of eventually decided that
Hold up. You into the movie theater? You was one of those guys? Was the baby crying, man?
driving.
Oh,
There was
driving.
this baby in our theater bug that wouldn't.
Were.
the dude behind me that kept on saying, "Come on!" Every single
Right.
time.
He didn't give a fuck. He had no empathy, no sympathy whatsoever. He said, "Come on."
Russ played it smart. He said he went to the drive-in. That's pretty.
Yeah,
That's pretty genius.
that's what.
I
That's
didn't
what
even
you
know they
gotta
had it at the drive-in.
It's an hour away. It's quite a drive, but it's like, you know, my poor wife has been like, you know, kind of cooped up a lot, you know, and she doesn't get to go out because she's, you know, always the baby and taking care of it. Like, it's a really difficult stage of parenthood right now. That's what other parents have told me anyway. This is kind of like all new for me. So parents have told me before the beginning is hella hard because the baby's kind of crazy. I mean, she is crazy.
Trying to get through that adjustment
Yeah,
stage.
they need to eat. They need to eat really frequently, and you kind of don't.
You'll wake up and smile and just like melt me from the inside out with that adorable smile and those big cheeks, and she gets all bashful like and everything. And I'll go on for like 5 minutes, and you know, I'm like, you know, kiss her nose and little things. She smile, and all that goes on, and then all of a sudden, for no damn reason, and then the crying. I'm like, oh, come on, man! And I'm right in her face and everything, and it's
What happened to 5 minutes ago?
yeah, what happened to you? Like, you were just fine. Sometimes I could hear her poop, so I could see it coming. You know, I try to like change
Yeah,
that.
coming.
You know, my sister is a first-time parent this year too, and I just noticed the same thing, that the first like 2-3 months it was just hard because like you want to leave your house, but at the same time the kid eats so much, it's fucking cold. You know, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, so you know, I made it, you know, a thing that because I got to post up my reviews on these things, so I watch them on Thursday night with my brother, or like we saw Star Wars with my dad, my sister-in-law, and my brother, and then I went a week later for the second viewing. Now my dad actually really liked it, My brother hated it. And then after the second viewing, I decided that I actually was disappointed by the movie. Like I'm actually kind of upset about the movie because I've come to this realization that just like with storytelling for a movie and music, because I'm a musician and I always relate everything to music because everything is related to music. That's just a damn fact. That's just true. You can relate anything to music. And there's always a resolution. Like if you have chord structure, like songs, like you know how you could hear like when a note is coming, or it just feels like it comes to a certain resolve, and you can do that where you can change how you get to the resolve or get to the end point, but you got to have some kind of end point. And I feel like they just juked the viewer too many times to the point where we never really got a lot of resolution. Like, didn't it feel kind of empty when Luke died? Like, I thought I would cry if I saw Luke died on screen. You know, that should have been a moment for me where I was like, wow, man, Luke Skywalker, you know, he had a good run or something. Or
I think that's partly because he didn't die like in a battle. Like, you know, it was like a real sort of like.
Yeah, it did. There was no one with the Force. It was a terrible death. It was a hella weak ass death. And they juked us. Didn't you think that they're gonna do the whole thing where he's gonna say, if you strike me down, I'm gonna become more powerful than you could ever imagine, or something like that? Don't you think he was gonna take an Obi-Wan Kenobi death? I thought he was. I thought Kylo Ren strike him down.
And you know what would have been
if that would have happened though, people would have been complaining more about it mirroring.
You know what would have been
the movies and shit.
And I'm glad that they didn't. But it made me think that they were gonna, which I liked, and they didn't do that, which was great. So you juked me once. But then they juked me again when they did the whole like the hologram, you know, the mental projection thing, and I'm like, oh, you juked me again. And then he rolls off the rock, and then I'm like, oh, he died. And then no, he comes back up on the rock, and I'm like, oh, you juked me a second time. Like, oh my god. And then he sits up on the rock, and then he fades into the carpet, flies away. I'm like, oh wow, okay. That was like
I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and we were thinking like, dude, you know what would have been the perfect middle ground was that, like, you know, when he's like dodging Kylo, that he's still the projection, and you could have still shown that new power is possible, but then at random a second Luke shows up and it's actually him and the projection disappears, and he was just using the projection until he got there, and that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
And you could have still shown that crazy power of being able to project yourself to that level, but not made it so he turns into a flying carpet, literally just like you said, like some Aladdin shit right at the end. Like, come on, man.
Oh no, Star Wars.
The carpet,
that's how I felt when I saw it fly away like that. I was like, no. Like, no. Like I reached
Luke's jacket.
But I mean, I'll be devil's advocate because I agree with you guys for the most part. But do you guys think it would have been worse if they had literally just mirrored Obi-Wan's death and actually have him be, you know, stricken down and have him become one with the Force right there?
No, that would happen because it would have had some kind of resolution. It would have had more resolution than that. I would have complained about it. I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't complain about it. I would have complained about it, but it wouldn't have been as bad.
And not just that, but we would have just had something. You know, we would have had something. It just kind of feels like you get cheated.
It never felt like he had that big bang. Like you thought he had that big bang, and then him showing up as a projection kind of undermined that. And
and we literally had The Force Awakens copy everything already. So like them copying a few things wouldn't have been a huge surprise to anyone.
Yeah, we would have expected it. Especially, and we already had so many surprises throughout the movie anyway. So it's like, yeah, you could have given us some of the ones that we would see coming. You could have afforded some of those. I don't know. So I ended up, but at the same time, it's like, I'm glad it's here. But I got to say, the feeling of disappointment that I actually felt in my gut, I hadn't felt that since I watched one of the prequels. So it's categorizing it with them.
I didn't think it was that bad, but it was. I had a lot of issues.
Part of it.
I had a lot of issues though.
I don't think it was as bad as the prequels, but it disappointed me. Like I got the same gut feeling. Like, oh no, this is Star Wars now.
I do think that the Casino Planet bit did feel very prequel-y.
Yeah, but you know, for some reason, I didn't have a problem with that. I don't know why people have a problem with that scene. Like, I don't get it. To me, I felt like it just fit in with everything else. I don't see how that was a problem. Like,
did you hear my point about how they made a point about rescuing the little people and they leave these kids behind? That's what like really just does the whole thing for me. Like, if they were about, like, sure, I get why you had to do that, and I get, you know, the war profiteering angle that they went on. That was all great. didn't like how we got into that storyline, and the fact that it was Finn and Rose, and the fact that it just seems like such a glaring plot hole to make such a big point about rescuing the little people and animals.
Listen,
and literally leaving slaves behind.
We're not gonna save you, but we're gonna give you this really cool ring.
Right, yeah, and the whole thing was to spread hope, throughout the galaxy. So I get that, but they couldn't spread hope, by taking them, to the rebellion or something. I don't know.
Bring them wasn't enough. I thought that was like their little subplot, right? To make them worth something, because they're eventually going to just fail at what they're supposed to do anyway. So
if I was one of those kids and I grew up, I'd be like, "What the fuck, man? They totally left us here.
Right.
Thanks for the ring, asshole."
Right.
I mean, maybe as a kid, I'm like, "Oh man, this is so cool. I saw the rebels." But when you become an adult and you start to think about it, like, dude, fuck the rebels. They just left me here.
Right.
And if the whole thing was built around that reveal at the end of the slave child, force grabbing the broom and then looking up at that moon or whatever, if you wanted to have that be your ending, then have him sweep up the rebellion base. Why is he still back at the fucking stables?
Yeah, or you could have had them somebody taking off their rebellion ring to give it to him, and then instead of him reaching for it, he forces it into his hand.
Right.
You could have had something much cooler. Like, it was just like, is this supposed to make me emotional that a kid gets a ring? Like,
did we,
what we see in Star Wars Rebels? Look at what happens in Star Wars Rebels.
It's like Russ is saying, I get the final note that they're trying to hit, but the way they're getting to it just didn't really satisfy.
When Ezra meets the Rebels,
I don't feel
like they hit it at all.
When Ezra meets the Rebels in Rebels, they take him. They take him along. Like, dude, this kid is powerful. This kid is smart. He's trying to fight the Empire. Let's take this kid. They don't just leave him there and like, well, I wonder if he's going to be something when he grows up.
Technically, Finn and Rose, they didn't really have a way of knowing whether or not he was force sensitive. So, but
no, the whole point was just to kind of like the narrative point of view they were trying to give you was that they're trying to spread the seeds of the rebellion, throughout the galaxy, and that was like one seed planted, the kids or whatever. But I just don't think that they achieved the path to that as strongly as they could have. There could have been a much better way to do it.
Yeah, and especially when you think about the fact that they're all going to get those animals back like a day later anyway.
They're still on the same
we took
planet.
a ride on the animals. They're still on the same planet, though, and they'll get caught eventually and go back to how everything was before. Yeah!
I also heard that the Benicio del Toro character was originally supposed to be Lando, but they didn't want Lando to like betray his friends once again in this movie, so they kind of wrote a new character into that role.
really,
I thought it would have been cool if they'd gone to the casino planet and looked for the code breaker, and the guy wearing the lapel thing is Lando, but then same thing happens, they end up finding the other guy.
I heard his real name was going to be Kaiser Soze.
Oh no!
They changed it at the end, and they were just like, "Oh, we can't do that."
did we talk about Justice League at all? I don't know. When did Justice League drop?
December.
It feels like forever ago, but it was actually only November.
Okay, so our last podcast was October, so I guess we didn't talk about Justice League. So what'd you guys think of that real quick? Let's go through this because we got other shit to talk about, but what'd you think about Justice League, Fabio?
Tell me.
You know what? I actually, sorry, I have to step away for a second. I actually found the movie entertaining, but I do recognize that it's just not a well put together movie. It feels like a classic case of like Hollywood, too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. And you can so obviously tell where that shift in, both like filming time, like reshoot and regular shoot, and like directing style. It's a pretty like clear division. So that that back and forth kind of took me out of it. But like visually, I've always been a fan of the DC universe because I really love the casting. I really love the designs for everything. It's just so mishandled because they don't have that one person creating the singular through line through the franchise. It's all like, it's almost like they start from scratch every time and forget what came before.
No doubt.
So that kind of thing always fucks with me. But honestly, I thought the movie was entertaining. Like I knew it was going to be a bad movie, and it was just like, I was enjoying it for what it was. CGI was hit or miss, especially on the villain. But there's those fuck yeah moments, like fucking Superman taking on the Justice League. I liked when he came back to face Steppenwolf. The little cameo of the teaser at the end of like them racing was cool. A lot of it was like,
whoa, hold on! Don't try to glaze over that Flash running though. That Flash running was fun. That shit was nuts.
Yeah, that was whack, dude. Oh man, why?
That shit looked awful.
Dude,
Man.
it has been proven so many times that Flash makes Superman look like a fool when it comes to speed. I don't know why they did that. It has
Well-
been shown so many times, man, that he
This is
just
still
he
supposed to be a
fucks him
young
up when it comes to
Flash,
speed.
so I get that.
Yeah, but this isn't even the right young Flash. Like that guy is basically nothing of Barry Allen. He's written like
Yeah.
Wally West and called
Wally.
Barry Allen.
Yeah, totally.
I don't understand. Like, we'll just call him Wally
I
West.
didn't think his jokes were really hitting like that either. It was like a lot of his comedy seemed like
And the-
forced and like it was like kind of corny, man. I don't know.
Especially when the editing of the jokes, because you can so tell that they left that little gap at the end for you to supposedly laugh, but it just dropped dead every time.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of laughs in the theater. But what'd you think, Jake?
Man, I wanted to like it. I really did, but the whole time, like, I felt like for watching it, like I felt like I don't know. I knew in my heart that I wasn't gonna love it, but I wanted to go in with a blank mind as much as possible. Again, because I know there was a lot of reshoots. I know there was a lot to save the movie, but that's kind of just like, down crack house. Yeah, you can definitely stop the fire. It's still a crack house when you're done, though. That's what it felt like. I felt like this like pit feeling in my stomach. Like,
Yeah, you're right. That property value is already just through the trash.
it's gone. Right. I don't even care if it was a masterpiece. I really don't think it could have saved what they're going for. I didn't really like any of the characters. In fact, it made me not like Wonder Woman. I actually loved her movie. Didn't like her in Justice League.
Well, you know what? She didn't bother me in Justice League. I actually thought she had some of the best scenes.
I mean, what she did though in Justice League.
I mean, she fought. What the fuck? What else was she supposed to do?
I
don't
mean,
know.
I feel like I can tell you what everybody else did.
Nah,
to the
tell
plot.
me what fucking Batman did. 'Cause
Nothing.
He was fat.
Batman gathered. He was out there trying to make
gathered.
Yeah, but so was Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was with him.
It's true. I absolutely
gathered. Oh my
That's
Come on,
it.
man.
He's-
He went
Are
to
you
go
talking
get
about,
that.
like, what impact does she have to the plot?
Batman
No, in
went to go get
terms
the
of, like-
Spider Slayer.
So
Oh
Batman
my
is-
god! Yeah, whatever that
Batman was
Megazord was. He's a Power
The-
Ranger in this
the
fucking.
youth-
Batman was a squirrel. He fucking gathered. All right.
Low key, really, absolutely. That's what I can say for Batman in that movie is he did a good job being Ash Ketchum. Like, what else? Like, I have no idea what I can give you for any of those characters. Flash, I was not a fan of. Like, Cyborg more than I thought I would. He would be the character that I actually like the most.
Sus.
Megatron from the first Transformers movie had better CGI.
P, what'd you think? You loved it.
Thought it was great. Fantastic film. Top 10.
Flash, baby.
Flash. That's literally. I'm gonna I'll admit, I had a little bit of a bias for this movie. Flash is my favorite superhero. Literally, the moment where they meet up with confused Superman, and he's not able to touch him once, I was like, "Fuck, this movie's 10 out of 10, man." I love this film.
Oh, boo! I thought you said you were a Flash fan. Boo!
No, I'm saying that Superman couldn't touch as fast as no matter what happened, Superman was not able to touch Flash. Period. The only he still came out as the faster person.
No
Flash
doubt.
did.
Flash tripped a lot.
I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, he was coming into his own. I didn't mind that aspect of it, the fact that he was coming into his powers, and I actually really liked the part when he said "Yo, I never fought anybody. I never did any shit before." I thought that was actually cool, and that was geared towards good character development, and I thought that was good, but they didn't have enough of those kind of little moments to make you connect with the characters like that. I don't know. It was a weird feeling to that movie.
It's like I've told people before. To me, it's the equivalent of giving us Dick Grayson Batman and saying, "Well, this is Bruce." If that Flash just would have been called Wally, everything he's done up to this point would have been totally been oh, it's just Wally West, man.
Right.
It's Wally West. He's a fucking goof.
One
He's a
last thing.
fool. He's always out there doing the most and trying too hard and joking too much. But when it's Barry Allen, it's just what is this stoic fuck doing making all these jokes?
One thing I want to say about it is I feel like the Batman Bruce Wayne relationship with Flash is literally just a bootleg ripoff of the way that they set up Spider-Man and Iron Man. I feel like Marvel keeps coming to the plate with, like they did Civil War before Batman versus Superman. They nailed it before DC had a chance. They did the same relationship with Batman Flash, and they nailed it before DC had a chance. It's like,
that is a crazy good comparison, man. It does really feel like a mentoree relationship. Like he just looks at Batman like, yeah, fuck yeah, Batman.
like, look how cool my friend is.
All right, Russ, what'd you think of Justice League?
I loved it.
Hell yeah.
I did love it. I really liked it a lot. That movie, more than any other movie throughout the year, I was looking forward to watching it a second time. I think it was my favorite superhero movie of the year. It gave me the Superman that I've been wanting to see for so long.
I agree.
CGI face.
That's mostly it. Like, just give me the damn Superman, because both Man of Steel and BVS had crap Supermans. I mean, I don't care. I mean, Henry Cavill can play a great Superman. It's just that they've given him poor dialogue and not much to actually work with as far as.
I will give it to Justice League that it was the best Superman that they've done
For sure. But I agree.
I will
agree.
say that.
Those first two movies, that Superman, it's like they're challenging him to act his way out of a paper bag. Like, the material they give him is just so. I saw a really great video on it that basically tells you that Man of Steel denies the traditional view of Superman because Superman never once in the movie wants to be Superman. Yeah. And that's the exact opposite. Like, he's supposed to be this hopeful hero, but the dude spends the whole movie down in the dumps.
Yeah, that's not Superman. Superman doesn't do that.
But I will agree that this Superman in Justice League was like, all of my fuck yeah moments were basically Superman moments. You know, when he's lifting up the giant fucking building and it's, staying intact. Like, it's awesome.
I think
the
Wonder
shit
Woman
out of
had some
Steppenwolf.
really good moments too. I really did like Wonder Woman. I don't see how. I think Wonder Woman actually had some really cool scenes, like right from the beginning. She did that whole dash bullet blocking scene in the bank.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Wonder Woman had some of the best scenes, in my opinion, too. Yeah,
that whole thing where she picked the dude up by the lasso, like from the second floor. I was like, damn, wow.
And that scene was especially cool because it's one of the first ones we've seen of like a real world, like everyday sort of crime being taken down by a superhero in this universe.
Yeah, that was great to see. Yeah,
we need more of that is the thing.
Yeah, if they give us more of that. But I mean, they have the overall bad guy thing. And I like Steppenwolf. I thought Steppenwolf was exactly as shallow as I needed him to be for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't really want a whole lot. I mean, I was like, oh, okay, he's bad guy. Like he just looks like just bad guy.
Right.
And his motive is what? Like he wants to be part of the new gods. That's all he says. That's really all he says. I'll have a seat at the table with the new gods. Okay, so he has something to prove.
Yeah.
He needs to destroy Earth. He's got to do this thing with the mother boxes, which I love. I didn't. That's actually what it's called in the comics. I was like, oh damn! I thought they just I thought some knucklehead came up with that. I thought that was Zack Snyder, to be honest with you. I was like, who would name it a mother box? Zack Snyder. And then, sure enough,
I was getting ready for the opposite, like some stupid name. But they don't call them mother boxes; they call them super teleportation box.
Right, like they kept trying to call the Tesseract the cube.
Yeah, like exactly. I was waiting for that, like a simplification, like a teleport super spatial box.
All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. Russ, I want to just talk to you about early days on YouTube and getting started. And we got some Marvel Legends announcements, I guess, some things that kind of just dropped or just became public knowledge right before we got on the podcast. So we'll get into that, but let's backtrack, man. Tell us how you started collecting. Like what was that in the early days of ShartimusPrime? Not even before you even get to YouTube. I mean, like really, how did you start getting into collecting?
Cracked my skull. So I was in a skateboard accident. I was 15 years old, had no helmet, and cracked my skull. And to my surprise, or everyone's surprise, I didn't break the skin or anything. I couldn't do sports or anything like that. My dad loved Star Wars and Star Trek too. My parents actually used to watch Star Trek every night at the dinner table, and Star Wars was a big thing. It was, and when they, my dad always recorded them off of HBO and would play them and stuff. So I remember seeing Star Wars since I was a little kid, but didn't really get into Star Wars until the special edition movies came out. And then because of the head injury and all that, like a pastime for me, because I couldn't go play sports or anything because I had to heal up, was like, you know, if I do extra things around the house, then he'd buy me a Star Wars figure, you know? So that's how I started, and I would collect them. Sometimes like I would choose to get two of the same thing, and I'll have one in package, and then, you know, and that's when I actually started collecting figures, keeping them in package. Before that, though, I actually collected TV guides as a little kid. I still have like this box, like 2 boxes.
You're George Costanza's father.
Yeah. Yeah, I already had my collection for a while when I saw that. Yeah, but
you know, that's pretty funny. I think a lot of collectors could probably think back to random shit they were collecting before they started collecting figures, or even maybe during.
I was just about to say what I used to collect that's kind of an equivalent is there used to be this magazine that would come to your house every weekend if you signed up. It was a sneaker selling magazine called East Bay. And I would collect every fucking East Bay magazine every month. And I was just thinking about
I guess look through East Bay all the time.
It's not too different.
I think I had Game Informer. You know, my uncles or whatever would buy me subscriptions every Christmas. So I just had years of subscriptions growing up, and I would just all those.
Remember Nintendo Power? Remember that shit?
Nintendo Power?
Oh yeah, Nintendo Power was.
Yeah. Well, you probably had like Wizard magazine and all that stuff, or Toy Fair magazine.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I
was collecting marbles at one point. That was fucking weird.
I think the moment I realized I was destined to like just collect things was I remember being a kid and I, would go to McDonald's all the time, and I remember you get a random toy every time, right? But I remember getting one of each of that wave or whatever of that set, and just having that satisfactory feeling of like, wow, I have them all. Like,
you know what? That may have been
awesome.
Started for me too. Because I remember it was also that may have been actually where
I didn't even really think about that, but you kind of blew my mind with that shit right there.
Yeah, blowing my mind, Frank.
Yeah, McDonald's. Whoa, McDonald's made us all collectors.
Right.
Bro, and they feed 1% of the world's population every day.
You know what's crazy is if you look back, McDonald's had a fucking time of the year where they released 100 different Disney characters. How wild is that?
Do you know that they had transforming McDonald's toys? I mean, I love those things.
Dude, I still have mine. The cheeseburger, the fries, the McNugget box.
Oh shit! I forgot about
the pancake pterodactyl. The pancake pterodactyl. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh man, when Pokemon hit McDonald's, are you kidding? Oh no, that was Burger King. I'm sorry.
Burger King. The gold cards that were
I collected the Moon Man one too. The piano playing, the jazzy Moon Man.
Yes, Mac tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mac tonight.
McDonald's is still giving toys with their kids meals, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
my brother, as we speak, is trying to build a McDonald's train, and every piece of a train comes with a different character. Like the head of a train is the McDonald's mascot, the box guy. The second one is Bumblebee. The third one is like the Life of Pets train, and the fourth one is Minions.
So this is what's currently being released in Happy Meals right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. He makes me go all the time and see, do they have the new piece of the train for the McDonald's train?
All right, so Russ, you started collecting Jet magazines. Nah, I'm just kidding. You said you said the magazines and you were injured and you started getting toys from your dad, Star Wars stuff. What line was that back for you? So what was that, the very first Star Wars line? No,
Power of the Force.
Power of the Force.
Yeah.
That was 90s, right? Or like 80s? 90s. That was after, right?
Yeah, that was like 97, something I want to say, like 96, 97, something like that when Power of the Force came out.
Okay.
I want to say something like that. And then I dropped off, and then I collected Marvel Legends when they came out later on. I mean, I took a break for a while, focused on music and women. And I stopped, like, I don't know, between the age, like after I started to actually finally like come back around to like my normal self around senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a while, right? So
I think that anybody who's a young collector and you go from that kind of preteen phase to teenager, like during that teenage time, you kind of like, you want pussy, but you want to like
so bad.
You don't want to be you don't want to be judged after high school and shit. You probably come back around and say, you know, like this shit, and it is what it is. But
and that's exactly what happened to me, especially when I saw Marvel Legends, because I was all hyped up on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. So when I saw the Marvel figures out on the shelf, I think the first Marvel Legend I picked up was Series 3 Wolverine. So I was at a time when Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3 were all on the shelf still. So I remember seeing Captain America and Series 1 Iron Man on the shelf. I remember both times. Yeah, I didn't pick those up until a little bit later on, but I remember seeing those at GameStop. They used to be everywhere. They're $7.55 for a Marvel Legend.
Yep.
And so that lasted up. Damn. So
they were $7.55 at like KB toy stores, and then they had one up to $8.99 at one point, which was still exceptionally good.
yeah.
And they went up to $9.99, but yeah, Marvel Legends were out crazy. It was around the same time for me too. I came on right when Series 1 had dropped, but
yeah. Well, I think Boog and I were born the same year, right? Our birthdays are we're both born in the same year, so it's like it's kind of funny. You could see the timeline kind of
right.
All the way on the other side of the country.
So yeah, you got it. You started getting into Marvel Legends. That was what, 2001?
Yeah, like 2000. No, a little later, like 2003. I want to say.
Okay.
Like 2000, and I also got back into comic book reading like shortly before that. So like about a year before that, I was like reading my comic books again.
Yep.
So and comic books is still a big deal for me, man. I can't let them go. I try to cut down on how many comic books I get, and that's like my true vice is comic books.
Yeah, I don't go out and buy books too much anymore, but I was kind of on that same wave. Like I was getting heavy back into comic books like before Legends dropped, and then when Legends dropped, that shit made me dive even deeper back into the comic book.
Yeah,
so it was
you know who's going through the same thing as JC. JC, like, he's the only consistent person that I know that he always goes into Juan Lecaros' shop and buys out his box like every fucking week. Like,
yeah, I gotta give it to JC. He stays on top of that shit.
Yeah, like I ever have a comic question, like, I mean, I could ask a bunch of people, but I always ask JC because I know that dude personally goes into a local shop around here that we all know, and he buys his sub box every week. So,
but yeah, people like JC and Dave Johnson and Dallas, they at least read consistently. I could always look to those dudes to like know what's going on currently in comic books and shit. But yeah, so after you got into Marvel Legends, did you open up a YouTube channel? Did you start your YouTube?
I didn't start my YouTube channel until I think like 2008, the end of 2008. Yeah, and I think that year, 2007, the Transformers movie came out, and I got really stoked on Transformers. I picked up the Deluxe Jazz, and then the Masterpiece Starscream, the Hasbro Starscream. I was lusting over that one like crazy. I would just like stare at pictures on eBay for hella long, looking at that Transformers. Like, wow, I cannot believe they made this. I cannot believe this. Like, I just had to have that. So eventually I ended up getting it. And then, so the Transformers is what really inspired me wanting to do the YouTube channel. And I saw a lot of people doing videos talking about, Transformers and other stuff. And I thought everybody looked hella nerdy, and it was like a really weird, like stereotypical nerdy ass group.
Like JT Mitchell and all those guys?
Huh? Yeah.
Like JT Mitchell and all those guys.
I don't name names. I'm not going to name names. I'm just saying that was like the vibe I took from the overall reviewer community. And I was like, I'm going to let everybody know that it's okay to love women, and it's okay, to talk about loving women and doing other things like playing music and stuff like that. And you could still like have a normally reasonable lifestyle while also being a geeky dude at the same time. So I wanted to have fun. So that's why I thought of ShartimusPrime, because I've always been about farts. I love fart jokes, and I'm a pretty gassy dude. I love rice and beans. Like, that's like a big family dish and Nicaraguan dish, gallo pinto. And if you eat a lot of beans, it gives you a lot of gas, right? So it's kind of like.
So that was your shit, huh? The early on, that was the brand, huh?
Yeah, and I'm the type of dude that will take a dump at your place. You know, like if I like I'm that guy. Like, oh man, like every time that dude rolls through, he's got like fucking.
Yeah, I'm not that guy, man. I got to shit at home every time. So
I poop anywhere. I've pooped in the woods. I'll poop wherever. But well, I mean, certain not
Yeah.
anywhere.
I don't
But
poop
yeah,
anywhere
so-
and immediately shower after.
What?
Yeah.
What? You son of
You know,
a bitch.
that's not the first I've heard of that. I've heard other people say
carrying
that.
baby
They
wipe.
gotta take a shower right after they shit every time. Yeah, I've heard that before. But yeah,
Oh, man, and if you shower and then take a shit, you got to start your whole day over.
yeah, that's terrible.
Oh god.
Well, if you don't get the full, you know, if you don't get everything fully ejected, then I could understand that, right?
Oh man,
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bad.
God.
That's a bad situation.
Especially when dingleberry season comes
You
around.
guys gotta talk to your fucking doctor.
Yeah.
So you said you collect toys.
get more fiber in your life. So just flow.
No, but this is exactly it. That we could talk about this stuff and have fun too. You know what I mean? It's more than just collecting. Like we're all like, you know, like fairly normal people.
Yeah, it's not just a monotone guy reviewing a transformer.
Yeah.
Shots.
Be excited about it. Fun.
Yeah, but so early on YouTube, everybody was pretty shitty. Everybody was like, it was literally. I feel like one of my like most memorable moments, or the thing that I remember the most about early YouTube was that pretty much nobody was like really making studio quality shit. It was literally YouTube, like, you know, trying to do anything crazy. You were just getting up there and you were just excited to be able to have some shit, to be able to be online, basically. Like, yo, I have a video online that people could look at. It wasn't even like, you know, that sort of euphoria was like
To have some kind of an audience, like at least having some kind of an audience.
Right. If you had 10, like, oh shit, 10 people over the world just saw this. Like, you know, it was pretty nuts. What you thought was big back then. But yeah. So, what do you remember about those early days of reviewing or getting started? What was like frustrating? What was cool?
Well, it was just I was just doing it, you know, as a pastime, you know, like, I don't know, I would just spend a couple minutes making a video and just talk about a figure and, you know, go back to looking for a job. I remember that first year I was jobless, so I was making videos and, you know, job hunting. So I had the spare time to do the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but at the beginning, it was just fun seeing the community start to take form and like seeing new fresh collections. Like that was blowing my mind. Like,
yep.
I think all in the same year, I think it was first your collection that was like, oh my God, like what the hell? That was like the first time I saw a DTOF case. I didn't know what a DTOF case was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy crap. And then,
real quick,
and then,
just some backstory with the DTOF stuff. I had been looking for something to display my figures in for the longest, and you said something about eBay and looking at figures on eBay. I was doing that same exact thing, looking at shit constantly, looking at the same 3 fucking sites all the time, just looking at figures, looking at all types of stuff. I was also searching for a display case to start setting my shit up in, and you know, during this time I was heavy into the comic books and reading comic books, so I was at the comic book store every week. And I had went into Midtown Comics on the east side, and they always had a display that they changed up, and they had DTOFs. And I just asked one of the guys, you know, where they got the cabinets from, and he told me it was IKEA, and that was that. I went out and got them, and sure enough, I feel like our community really put like most collectors onto DTOFs. I feel like you saw everybody going out and buying those shits after that. But yeah, I just want to check that real quick. But
yeah,
huh?
It was your goddamn song that put me onto them, to be honest.
So yeah, so you go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, so seeing your collection, and then Solid Snake had a collection that blew my mind. I was like, what? And then this guy, Red Hulk 80, he had a collection that blew my mind. I was like, oh my goodness. And then people are
God, that's an old school name.
Hell yeah.
and people had customs and everything, and then I think and it was great seeing different, I don't know, and then people would make videos like KJ Hulk would have like these, like, I don't know, he'd use the action figures as different characters in our community. Remember those?
What was the name of those videos? I forget. What was the name of it?
Do you remember which one you were?
Who was I?
I remember Lou was MODOK, right?
Right.
Oh my God, Lou was MODOK?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Lou.
Oh man, rest in peace, Lou, man.
Yeah,
rest in peace,
that's the
Lou,
first
man.
person that left a comment on one of my videos. You want to know who was actually first? It was actually my brother and then Lou. My brother doesn't count because I walked over to the room next to him and asked him to leave a comment. That's how desperate I was to feel some kind of satisfaction for my first video.
I think Lou was one of the first people that I met like in person from the community, because I was bugging that we both lived in the Bronx, and we were going to do a trade, and he's just like he's like, yeah man, just come to my crib. I'm like like
You ever done that before?
right, you know what I'm saying? It was definitely hung out with Lou quite a few times over his crib and shit. He just wanted he just was a lonely guy. Just wanted somebody to come hang out with him and shit like that. But but yeah, rest in peace to Lou. But yeah, he was definitely very active on my videos too, though.
Yeah, and we would talk shit about each other too, which was a lot of fun. Like early on, like you could take jabs at people and it wouldn't ever really get that serious, even though sometimes it actually would get kind of serious. Actually, he said some shit that really pissed me off one time.
Yeah. Lou
it wasn't about me. It was about my fiance at the time, which is now my wife. So that, like, we got that all resolved and everything, but still, like, I don't know. It was
a volatile
that you can go back
relationship with Lou. No question. No question.
Yeah, but it was still fun. It was still fun going back and forth. Like, we would make these videos talking shit about each other, and it was fun being able to do that. And it was almost kind of like a challenge, like who could gross each other out more or be more vulgar or something. It was pretty cool. So that was really early on. But
I'll never forget. I'll never forget that video of Spencer going out into stores and just like fucking with people while he's searching for legends, and just people kicking him out of stores because they saw the camera. Like, yeah, they just kicked me out of the store. They just kicked me out of the store. I'm gonna talk to you guys in the car. They just kicked me out of the store.
Yeah, Spencer's always been a real funny dude, man. His dry humor and shit.
He really spearheaded the Marvel Legends community. I mean, like, he was the one who actually kind of like adopted this whole thing about spreading the word about other channels. Like, he'd go out of his way to let you know about this channel or this YouTube channel, because he gained popularity really fast. There's this guy named Manifest Presents, and then after him, it was really Spencer who was posting videos.
Yeah, that's how I found out about people, was Spencer, doing like a quote unquote spotlight.
And you know what?
Like, hey man, check out this guy's channel.
You know what? They long took away this feature, but remember, you could have other, like,
Video response.
Say it again.
The video response.
No, I meant like on your channel when you had other channels listed and shit like that too. Remember, you could do that on your
other
channels
channels
wall.
listed. Yeah.
So
on your
that
profile.
was big. So if you had a decent amount of followers or whatever, like, people would really look at who you were shouting out and shit on your wall. So that helped a lot.
We still have that? Do we still have that? I thought you could.
Well, you know what? It's not. You can't. I don't think you can toggle it. I think they just put up related channels now. I
got all these channels. That's why it's all my own stuff.
You sure?
Yes.
Talking about in the description of your video. I mean, like on your wall.
Yeah, my channel. Yeah, my channel wall.
Oh, wow.
It's all Geeky Drummer, the Nick Italians, Russology, the Mangs. It's all my own stuff. Then Sean.
Well, yeah, I know the links that
Wayne.
you can have. But it was different. I got to look at your channel. I know you can have links to shit.
Swing by and check it out sometime.
Jesus.
Video responses. That was always a big part of the YouTube community.
Video responses were made the biggest deal back in the day in YouTube. I'm sure everyone remembers the biggest nerd beef ever online was DC versus Marvel. I'm DC, so I don't know about you fucking Marvel guys. Everybody's like video announcements of what comic book company they like more. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. People get like all weird when I like praise something that's related to DC. Like, but you're a Marvel guy, Shartimus. I'm like, whoa. Like, hey, Batman's my second favorite superhero, man. There's a ton of superheroes out there. Batman is my second favorite. Come on.
The first person I ever remember calling a ceasefire over Marvel versus DC on YouTube was JRA Nightmare. You know, he's such an easygoing dude. I remember the video he made. Like, come on, dog. Come on, guys. We're all family here. We don't need to pick one or another. We can have them both. That's how I found JRA Nightmare's channel, was through him making a plea video for stopping Marvel versus DC fans.
Wow. Nobody was able to
It's all
play
about
nice.
the fun.
Nobody could
And I'm
play
glad
nice.
that argument.
But you know what, Russ? You said something that stuck out to as far as other people's collections and shit. Like, yeah, it's that seeing everybody posting up different displays and different collections each week, and when they get new stuff, adding it on and watching those videos. Like, I feel like back then you watched more YouTube. I bet right now you barely watch any fucking YouTube aside from your own videos. Like, you know, back then I feel like we were more it was more you really were paying attention to other people's videos and watching them and coming with your video and putting out videos more often too.
You know what? Like, for me, honestly, I do watch YouTube. Actually, I still consistently watch. I watch YouTube every day, but I don't watch it how as I did during that first year. Like, it's not the same kind of excitement, because you got to remember too, back in 2009, it wasn't just our community that was blowing up, but like all of YouTube was badass. I remember there was like YouTube channels that I was like just floored with that had nothing to do with action figure collecting that were doing really well, like Mystery Guitar Man. Like, that blew my mind. Mystery Guitar Man blew my mind.
Mr. Guitar Man was a legend.
Bill DeFranco was doing really well, and like there was just like other, and that was like around the time Epic Mealtime came through around that time too. Like, there's a lot of big things happening with YouTube in general. So I was just watching more YouTube then. So the amount of YouTube I watch now is more like shortly before I started the YouTube channel. So I'm like, basically, I either watch the news, or I watch the talk show hosts, or I watch review.
Yeah, no question. I meant as far as like toy related shit. I watch YouTube a ton. I watch a lot of news. I watch a lot of other shit, but I watch very little toy related shit though.
I feel like there's less out there. I feel like there's less out there right now, but I mean, there's still new people, you know, coming up and posting stuff, and I get excited to see their videos. So it's like, I don't know. I have.
You know what it is? It's just that everybody gets afraid now. You know, everybody gets afraid to post anymore, and a lot of people just kind of like, you know, you could see so many channels now. Like we said, we're not going to name no names, but there's a ton of channels of people that like just recently were like, you know, I'm not going to be doing this that much no more, and it's just kind of like things fade, and there's not new people taking the reins, and especially when we lost Glenn Webb, it felt even more like, damn, dude, like there's a piece that needs to be filled in the community that nobody's been like ever wanting to try to fill.
Well, it's a lot of people with shitty ass fucking videos too.
Oh, that's another. There's so many people with shitty videos. Yeah.
Well, this actually kind of leads into a question I had for Russ in terms of how kind of YouTube is behaving these days. Let's say, like with the algorithm and all that stuff. You know, there's a lot of big YouTubers like the Philip DeFrancos and all that stuff that are always talking about, you know,
the nostalgia critics about the demonetization and stuff like
that. Right, the adpocalypse or whatever. Is that something that you've been affected by? And like, can you talk about how that whole thing works?
Yeah, I want to know that shit, but can we give me a little bit more in between the build up to that, because I just wanted to know when you really started paying attention to monetization. And because I remember at first you had to like fill out an application to be partner. You had to go through like a totally different thing. Now they just pretty much just give you AdSense. You know what I'm saying? If you have a video that goes viral, you're going to get AdSense on it. But before, you had to actually apply to be partner to get paid off of your video. So before you answer Fabio's question, I just want to know, when did you really start paying attention to that stuff and saying, you know what, I think I could make bread off of my channel?
In 2010. So like the second year of me really doing it is when I actually got my first check from Google.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe it. It was like I actually still have a photocopy of it. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. It had that same kind of feeling I had like first time I earned money playing drums. I was like, wow, I can't believe this. And I saw other people making it, you know, and doing really well with it. And I saw people doing things better than me. So, and things that I liked that I wanted to mimic. So it's like I kept on taking, I started taking it more and more seriously as I was going, but that didn't really happen until like I noticed like a real change in I think around 2012 because it kept on escalating, getting better and better. So the better I would do, the more the more excited I would be to put more into the YouTube channel. So it would just kind of keep feeding itself that way. So and which is also kind of like a weird time because it was great I was making money, but I think that whole monetization thing kind of split up the Marvel Legends community in a way. Like I noticed people would kind of like stop posting and it would just kind of like got a little secular because you had people that were monetized and then you had people that didn't get monetized. And people that didn't get monetized would be discouraged from posting because people that did get monetized were able to get paid for it. And that was so cool.
Right.
You got to understand, everybody wanted to get some money for doing that because it's something that's really fun to do. And who doesn't want to get paid money to do something that's fun to do? So it's not like, you know, everybody quit their jobs all at once thinking that they're going to be billionaires or anything, but just having that partnership status, like filling out that application and getting approved and stuff, that was like a great big step. So
yeah, you had a lot of people during that time applying and getting denied and shit. And yeah, that was pretty discouraging. And I would agree that it kept some people from making videos and shit like that. That definitely changed the game. But who did you see that was like close to you that was doing that thing that really made you say, okay, all right, I really gotta get focused on this? Was that Sean or what?
Oh yeah, it was Sean. Even though I said I wouldn't name names, but I mean, still Sean. I mean,
all right, but you can name names when you're friends with the people. We just don't want to like
just
shit
like
on
bad
people.
names. I want some bad names.
No doubt.
I mean, you can name names. Just feel free to heave ho whoever you want in front of the bus.
Yeah, that's all good. But all right, so yeah, so you saw Sean doing his thing, and did you?
So I thought if this guy can do it, I can do this too. I can do this too. This guy can do this, I could do this too. And I have ideas, man. You gotta understand, I've always wanted to do this. Now, one thing that was part of the whole head injury experience is me and my brother doing stop motion animation and taking pictures of our Star Wars figures and recreating the Battle of Hoth, and we did these snow speeder stop motion things on the whole dining room table and stuff. And even later on, when I was collecting Marvel Legends, like with my little the Super 8 video camera, like I would do little stop motions. I called it Marvel Action Superhero Adventure. So I was already like playing with.
Catchy.
So yeah, right, yeah, and I would just show those to my friends. Actually, when I was introduced to my wife, my friend Isaiah, this is like the first time I was actually introduced to Nina, was way back in like 2005 or something like that. It was at a party, and Ice Cap Man goes like, "Oh yeah, this dude sits at home playing with his balls and playing with his toys." And I was like, come on, man. And I was like, this cute girl and everything, man. Why you gotta do that? Well, were you trying to chop me off already, you know? And then but I didn't see her again after that party until like 2010, and it's kind of funny we both remember each other. Okay, so enough with the romance story. So doing videos and getting what was I getting at? I backtracked talking about like way back in the day
Stop
how
motion.
videos at home. Say that again.
Stop motion.
Yeah, and I was doing the stop motion and everything. So
you were talking about, well, I asked you about, you know, who you saw that was doing that thing that really made you say you want to put it into high gear.
Yeah, so thinking about that, okay, so the reason why I brought up all that, me doing all that old stop motion and all that stuff is just like I felt like I could use that. I felt like that stuff gave me, you know, I felt like I had potential in revisiting that stuff and doing that again, you know, and playing around with that on a YouTube channel. So I felt like I could do a lot with the YouTube channel. So that's like, you know, around the same time, I guess like in 2010, I did the first documentary. think the first Legend Collector documentary. So like as soon as I started getting paid for it, I thought, oh, I could do a lot more with this. You know?
Right. Yeah, that'll make you
Investing
get
the
focused, no
time.
question.
Investing the time was worth it once you receive that approval.
Yeah, because then you can. Yeah, because then you don't have to. Exactly. If you get paid to do something and then you're investing your time into it, then it's like it makes sense. Investing your time into things that don't do anything for you, if you're doing it too much anyway, right? Then it starts to work against you.
All right, so you started getting serious. I remember around that time speaking to you too, and you were always trying to tell me like little shit to do to like build a channel or whatever. Like I could tell that you were like really excited about it, but I just wasn't at that point. As far as like making money off of it, I just wasn't at that point. But I remember you like always having different ideas of different things you could do to build a channel and to grow the channel, and like you were definitely on it pretty early on. So what were you doing early on when you first started making videos and you felt like you were making money? How did you take it to the next level?
It was just piece by piece. Like I think the first step was going from unedited videos to edited videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge jump right there.
Yeah, I think early on, a lot of us were just turning on the camera and just talking for like 10 minutes straight and shit, and like no editing at all.
Yeah, and you could see the change for Russ, because as someone who saw him go from standing in front of the camera with a toy in his hand to putting a camera on a table, you could see when the intro happened, it was more time being put into it.
No doubt.
As soon as you saw the intro and the song was done for it.
I fucking hate anybody that shows themselves in the fucking review. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I haven't done that since 2010. Well, I do the movie reviews. I mean, that's.
I'm talking about when you actually reviewing a figure. If you're just speaking to the camera, that's fine. But if you're reviewing a figure and it's reverse and you're standing in front, I hate that shit, man.
The only person I can think of that does it the right way.
I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you.
It's about the figure, no doubt.
The only person that does that right currently is Pixel Dan, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
that shit's whack.
Yeah, he does intros on camera, but most of his stuff is still.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, because he intros and then he zooms into where his hands are and nothing else.
No, and he has the B-roll footage.
Yeah, and he puts the B-roll. You're not just looking at his smiling face where he's like, "Look at this muck, man."
Yeah.
Well, another thing about Pixel Dan, I think he has a really big, like very young audience. So a lot of his stuff is very kid friendly, and I think that kind of thing, like that on camera stuff, especially the intros and unboxings, I think that kind of thing plays well for that audience.
Mm-hmm. No. Pixel Dan is definitely good money. He's been doing this thing for a long time, but he's he's a funny sounding guy, though, no question.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, so Fabio, what was your question again?
Well, I mean, the whole big thing with YouTube right now is the way that they've changed the algorithm to pick how videos go on trending and all that stuff. But mainly the controversy was that a lot of advertisers pulled out of YouTube because of certain like inappropriate content getting monetized. So they decided to just fucking, I guess, crack down on everybody. And a lot of people are having, they weren't making the money they used to, putting out pretty much the same content.
Right.
So is that something that
putting out a lot of feelers and shit too, because they randomly now like say, hey, your video had some content that wasn't right. All right, do you want to like dispute it right now? And you can dispute it right then and there. Usually within like a couple of hours, shit will be fine. But they're like testing for every like little thing to like not give you bread for your video right now. Like it's kind of it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So for me, luckily I'm not hit as bad as I think a lot of other channels. I still keep mine fairly kid friendly. I mean, I still make dirty jokes, but I try to keep them under the radar, and I think that works really well for me. I call it the Seinfeld Pixar technique.
Yeah, you're like PG-13,
Yeah, try to keep around PG-13, because and one thing I've just recently, like my demographic is mostly 13 to like 20-year-olds. I did a poll recently asking like on the community page of my YouTube channel. So it's like 13 to 20-year-olds. I think it was the highest viewing demographic, which is actually different than what it shows in my YouTube analytics. My analytics, it shows like a 25 to 35-year-old demographic is the highest viewing demographic, but I actually believe the poll more so than those.
Yeah, I was gonna say the poll's probably accurate because the the YouTube accounts might be under like a parent account that might be like skewing the results or whatever.
Not just parent accounts, but he could have a lot of inactive channels. I mean, a lot of inactive just accounts following him as well.
That's true. Yeah, that people just kind of grew into your channel or grew into your audience.
Yep. So, yeah. So that's mostly.
So you haven't been hit too hard with that, but.
So I really haven't been hit too hard with it, but I've still taken a hit. Like things haven't still really fully recovered from how they once were before that. Like around.
Yeah, that shit ain't coming back, bro.
You don't think it's ever
so that was gonna be like my part 2. Like, do you think that's another thing that discourages new YouTubers, like we were talking about? That's kind of the thing holding people back now.
Oh yeah, because if you check this out. And I learned this. I learned this from Siri Emerald that like if you have a monetization logo, a demonetization logo, like if it's been demonetized, you don't have 1,000 subscribers, then you don't even get a human to review. It just stays demonetized. Remember earlier, Kendall, when you're saying how there's like the partnership form and everything that we had to fill out, and then now everybody could be monetized. Well, now they've turned it back into a partnership program where they have, so they have some of that criteria is back now, but it's not as strict as it was before, but it's and they're going to make it more and more strict so that.
Well, if they're doing that, maybe they'll get back to the old way of paying out then.
I have a friend who had the problem that Fabio's coming with, where he would upload a video and immediately it was demonetized, and then a few hours later, after a human actually reviewed it, they would give him back the money. But so many views would come in that he would lose like half of the money.
Yeah. That's the shit that hurts right there. Yeah.
Shartimus seems like he has the other problem where he's not getting the suggestions and he's not showing up well in sub boxes. Where it's not demonetizing you, but you're not getting the spread that you once got before because the algorithm changed. Yeah, that's almost just as bad. It's not as bad as demonetization, but it's almost just as bad.
Well, my biggest, actually, the viewership isn't really hurting me so bad. My numbers are actually good as far as viewership and my subscriber growth. It's the rate that the ads are actually paying per view is what sucks the most. That's what's going down. So just imagine if, like if your boss just told you like, hey, I'm going to pay you like 50% of what you're normally getting paid. So like you either show up to work tomorrow or just don't. It's basically what it is. So it's like
I followed a lot of like food reviewers, and recently they've kind of been the next to take a big hit in terms of
Dame Drop, KBD Productions. They both got horrible falls, and like even to the point where they're the two biggest food review guys that do it consistently. Like with new things that like drive-throughs and stuff like that, they're the biggest ones. And when they're saying that they might drop out, it means that the hit has been huge.
And YouTube's excuse is apparently that a lot of that content just is not advertiser friendly, so they can't run ads on it because of whatever. But you'd think that, a food review of like your local fucking fast food restaurant, something that everybody has on their goddamn corner, it would be
just make sure
friendly.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just that they don't want ads for other restaurants playing, but then just make sure that food ads don't play in their videos. How hard is that to make the algorithm do? To not play food related videos so that it doesn't conflict with what they're doing. It's a total pain. It's like if you're not a vlogger, a family friendly vlogger, the algorithm doesn't favor you anymore.
You don't even have to be family friendly. You just have to have the last name Paul.
Yeah,
and then
you have to be a vlogger that posts over 10-minute long videos, or you don't. I follow this so much because I watch so many channels, and I know that the only people I've never seen complain about all of this is always vloggers. They never complain because they don't review anything. They don't talk about any type of product. They just live their lives, and that's what they love the most. That's what the algorithm loves most, is that these people don't single something out to do. They don't review anything. They don't do anything on that level. So anybody that reviews something,
they singled out to do nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Nothing. Yeah.
That's pay for wave for them.
They pay for it for having a private life, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they make their private life public in that way for having that. It's
Yeah.
why so many channels start vlogging, because it just, you don't get hit with these problems. I mean, it's like I said,
vlogging has always been a part of YouTube, though. I mean, even meantime,
Yeah, that's the YouTube aspect. No
Shay
question.
Carl, all those guys. It's always been around.
right.
And like I said, to a certain extent, like, I kind of appreciate some of that stuff more sometimes. Like, if I want to see studio quality productions, then, I could just go to regular TV, I guess. But I guess more people are not really fucking with regular TV at all. But yeah, okay. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the backlash you were getting last year for you know what? Explain Patreon to us. We talked about this a couple of times here, but none of us have a Patreon or really fuck with it like that. I mean, I guess P understands it probably the best, P and Rick, but explain the Patreon thing to us a little bit.
Well, for the record, I first heard about Patreon from my viewers. It was recommended to me by my viewers to start a Patreon account, and basically, it's like a donation fan club, and you get exclusive content, and you get chances to win prizes and like that for having membership in the Patreon account. And there's different tiers and different rewards and stuff like that, but I'm trying to change it and do different things here and there. And then recently Patreon hasn't really been the best thing to work with, but it's kind of settling out. It's not really the best avenue to go towards. So I did a video, an exclusive Patreon video talking about this to my patrons, that I'm kind of looking at different things as far as like trying to get the YouTube channel in a more stable situation. And it's getting better. It's actually, things aren't really too horrible. Things are actually getting a little bit better, but the support really still goes a long way because it keeps me from spending more time at work. So it's just
so people got kind of upset with you because they felt like you were charging. I guess that's what a lot of people that don't fully understand the Patreon thing think, is that you're basically charging for something that people could be getting for free. They feel like you kind of, I don't know, betraying them in a way. I don't know. I feel like it was a lot of people that were upset with you that probably were not really even people that watched your channel frequently or consistently, really. But
here's the thing. Here's the fundamental thing with that, is that people just generally speaking, people get upset about somebody asking for something in exchange for nothing. I just want it. Just give it to me. People hate that. People hate hearing that. It's pathetic and it's sad. Nobody wants to hear a grown-ass person saying like, hey, I want this and I can't have it. Please give it to me. Please. Nobody wants to hear that begging. And if you assume that there's no work, no effort, it's the easiest damn thing in the world to make a YouTube video. Like, there's nothing to it. It takes 5 minutes of your day. Se acabó. You're done. It's over. Now give me some money, please. If you think that's it, then you're going to think that somebody who has a Patreon account that has a donation thing like that, you're going to think, well, now that person's asking for something in exchange for nothing. Because a lot of people are really surprised when I tell them it takes me hours to make a video. Like, that blows people's mind. I have a student that watches my videos, and I told him, and he thought it was a half-hour thing. I'm like, no, that video took me 3 hours. That video just right there, it took at least 3 hours. And that's not even the longest. I've spent 6 to 8 hours on one video. Especially Hot Toys, those are really hard. I mean, those take a long time. And then people think, wait, hard? Wait, have you ever had a manual labor job? You want to know hard? Talk about
I know,
getting blisters on your hands. That's hard work. And I'm like, nah, dude, not hard like that. Hard like brain power. Hard like being a performer. When you have thousands of people looking at you, you have to understand, I know I have a viewership of thousands. So it's kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. You really have to think about what you're going to say when you're speaking in front of thousands of people, right? I mean, would you assume so?
especially when the toys get so complex. You have to think out a lot what you're going to say. You mess up on a Marvel Legend, it's quick. There's only, certain more points of articulation, but there's so many details and certain engineering that goes into bigger figures like that it is a lot of work.
It takes a
You
lot
have
of
to show off all the accessories, which means unboxing everything and laying it all out. I mean, obviously it takes a long time. So I think a lot of this criticism does just fundamentally come from people not understanding the work that goes into a lot of this stuff, or understanding how Patreon works.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that and here's another thing that comes from people, and this is not personal towards me, but I get kicked in the nuts for it, is that you have this, and I'm a victim of thinking this way too. I've done this myself, where a lot of people feel like if somebody's making money off of my hobby, they're an asshole. That's just kind of the vibe out there. I used to feel that way towards Fox. I thought Fox was trying to piss me off with their movies. Like, they're really trying to take my money as much as possible in exchange for giving me crap. I had that feeling with Marvel Legends at the beginning. I was like, dude, you guys are like I almost took it personal. Like, what? You're laughing at me for taking my money. I'm giving you my money, and you're laughing at me. You're trying to be as cheap as possible with me. You're a dick. That's how I felt.
And it's true, and it's all fueled by people just wanting to make what you make. I mean, I'm going to say his name because I don't give a shit about this dude, and I hope he sees it and he can do whatever he wants with it. But look at the biggest guy that was attacking you last year. Dog. That guy.
The guy you were just imitating.
Now he's Dog Reviews. It's like these guys, they act like it's just not right that you're getting paid for the hobby. But at the end of the day, it's just because they want that piece of the pie too.
Dude, honestly, that's what it is. Boog, I'm sure you can relate. How many people came to you for monetizing, quote unquote, the hobby for starting up a company like A.C.B.A., I guess he stepped away, but you guys see my point. A lot of people, and like you said, they want a piece of the pie. I'm sure there's people out there trying to do what we do, and whatever. It's the same kind of thing. People just they're jealous of the hustle, and they kind of wish they'd thought of it first, and they come at you because you are the person that did it first.
Yeah. And now one thing that got a lot of people upset was I made a Facebook post about a year ago, and I was in a bad place emotionally, and I was on the computer when I shouldn't have been on the computer. I'm totally making up excuses right now, but it's a fact. I just got news I was going to be a dad, and I had a friend that had just recently told me about her having cancer. Somebody I'd grown up with my whole life. So I was in a point where I should not have been on the computer, and I should not have been writing the post that I had made. But in that post, I had vented a frustration with not getting as many patrons as I had hoped, because I got a lot of people, like I said, I first heard about Patreon through my viewers. So I had a lot of people, and I would test the waters and here in a little bit, and I had gotten the vibe that I would get a lot more support on that platform than I did. But the message I was trying to send in that post, which I shouldn't have been trying to make in the first place, wasn't that I didn't get what I deserved. It was that, okay, people just don't see monetary value in this media, this form of entertainment of action figure reviews in general. People just don't see that as something they want to pay for. And I made it sound a lot more personal than I meant to say. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be so personal towards me, but it really came off as me kind of like being butthurt about not getting as many patrons as I want. People took it as me trying to guilt people into doing it. And that's not what I was trying to do at all, what I was saying.
No, Shartimus, that when you made that post, I was one of the first people everyone started to message. Hey man, come get your boy. What is he doing? And it was hard because they just look at me like an idiot when I'd say man, you're bringing up Shartimus, but if you only knew that pretty much everyone on YouTube that has a big channel had Patreon 2 years before he did. It was so normal to me that channels would offer Patreon that when you offered it, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, okay, he finally opened a Patreon like everybody else does. Yeah. But all these people, they only watch toy reviews. So when you did Patreon, they didn't know what it was, and they were like, "Who the fuck does this guy think he is?" And didn't realize that the biggest channels on YouTube do it.
Yeah, and I completely understand your frustration too, because in your post, you were basically pointing out that you have this amount of subscribers on YouTube versus the amount of on Patreon, and the discrepancy in the numbers. You know, that's a totally valid criticism to have. You know.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's exactly what I was going for. Yeah. I don't need to rephrase myself again.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you know,
that's
but
what
Russ,
I was
you
trying.
got to know that.
I shouldn't have tried to do that anyway, because it's a show. People don't need to know about what I'm stressing out about. My job is to keep things happy and fun, and maybe share some personal stuff here and there. But people don't need to care about like my turmoils and stuff. But at the same time,
just to interject real quick with what you're saying, that just reminded me of a couple of lines that Dave Chappelle had in his last stand up on Netflix. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, he was kind of saying something to that effect, that like, yo, what if your parents would have like came out and told you as a kid, like, you know what, I just don't got the money for the rent this month. Like, you know, your parents don't do that. Like, you know, they just try to like keep everything hunky-dory, like, you know what I'm saying, and don't really let on to their problems and shit. But yeah, no doubt. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, you broke kayfabe.
And it's my father who actually gave me the hardest time about that than anything else. That was the one that actually hurt more, because my dad like totally understands what this whole thing is. He's like, you're not supposed to. Nobody needs to hear about that at all. Like that shouldn't be part of anybody's business at all.
You know what's funny is social media is just conditioning people to do that shit though. Like to just be like super open with everything in your life and sharing everything, and that shit. I don't know. It gets to you. It gets people and shit. You got to really, really like.
You got to think about what you say when you say something in public, man. You really got to
no question.
You know, sometimes I consolidate the wife, man. Like, there's times where I'm like, hey, does this sound like I'm bitching because I'm trying to be funny right here? People can take me as being, you know, whiny or whatever. Make sure I don't sound whiny. And then she reads through it. She's like, yeah, shut the hell up. You got to change this. Or, no, you sound fine. Don't worry about it. You know, so you got to have somebody with you. The wife helps a lot with the YouTube channel. She helps me pick thumbnails and stuff sometimes, too. Sometimes my brain just goes crazy, you know, over, you know, just little tiny things, especially if you're looking into something for too long. But yeah, man, I mean, it's the big problem also about being an action figure, like what Rick was saying. It's the reason why I'm singled out more of a bad guy for having a Patreon is because I'm an action figure reviewer. You see the toys behind me in my videos, you think, what an asshole. He's got all these toys. Why don't you sell all your shit first and then ask me for $1, okay? That's got to be the first thought that goes through people's head, I'm sure, right?
I know it was the first thought in one person.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But
I've been collecting for 20 years. I've been collecting for 20 years, and I need that stuff for the videos.
I got to play devil's advocate, man. I got to say both sides. But there's people that just feel like, is that, listen, I'm actually working here. It's a lot that goes into the production of these videos. And on the other side, there's people saying, yo, it's toys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're playing with toys, basically. Why should anybody have to, you know, to pay for that? Like, you know?
It's the show. It's not just
but then yeah, like you get the it is toys and he's playing with it, and why should they have to pay for it? But they don't have to. They just have the option of doing it.
That's trivializing. That's trivializing what he does though, because people do the same about, you know, how we pose action figures competitively.
Right, yeah, no question.
Anyone wants to diminish that by just saying it's action figures or defend, you know, the posing or whatever in critique.
There's a competition for playing with your toys.
Or supermodels. I mean, that stuff is work. They're out there in 50-degree weather, all almost naked, holding a pose, muscles up for hella long. Or you could say they're just laying in the sand. I'm not going to pay somebody to just lay in the sand. But no, they're holding a complex pose and it's freezing cold. And you know,
right.
And you know, it's like I said, when it was just easier for me to understand what Patreon was and where it came from, because I watch all of YouTube. I don't just watch toys. And these people, they only watch toys, and when they saw you bring in Patreon or other toy channels, they were like, what the fuck is this? And I already had seen channels have it for so long that when you had it, it didn't even hit my mind that like, oh man, what is this guy doing opening a Patreon? I just saw it from a different lens. I saw it from a YouTube viewer, not just a toy viewer lens.
Yeah. And then the other thing that's kind of sad about it is that like the more flexibility I have with my time, as far as like basically putting in to content, I felt like I was able to, especially because by the time I had already started a Patreon account, I was already playing around with stop motion, and I would have the documentaries and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty clear that I was giving extra than just toy reviews. Like, there's more to it than just toy reviews with my channel. It's got like a sense of like there's sketches and you know what I mean. I have the I have the stuck up dork and I have other things going on that's just outside that you won't find anywhere else.
There was more to
No,
there was more to it than just that. Then
it's like
you're selling yourself as a personality, and you're the talent. You should get compensated for your time. And not only are you the talent on camera and whatever, but you're the producer and you're the director and you're everything. So it's not unreasonable to want to help somebody in producing a show, and that's kind of what Patreon sort of makes everyone feel like. A part of a show, a part of the like a producer. Like you're helping contribute to the betterment of the show, and I don't think that's a terrible thing to ask for, especially if you are if you have a dedicated audience, who like not just your reviews but you as a personality.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Like Patreon is specifically for your dedicated audience. If you're not of the person that likes your content enough to financially back it, you shouldn't really worry about it, honestly. Because
like if
at the end of the day, everything that's behind that Patreon wall is specifically catered for your dedicated audience. So casual viewers don't benefit or don't lose anything from it at all.
No, it doesn't really affect you at all. If you don't want to pay, you just watch the video. I mean, unless you hate that I have a list of people's names that contribute to the channel at the end of the video. Like if that really bothers you, like if you even just like hate the fact that because that's how I plug it now, you know what I mean? And it's tricky kind of coming up with ways to try to like, oh God, I have so much to say about this, but it's like, so I want to interrupt myself. I feel like I have ADHD, I never wanted to have a Patreon in the first place. This was something I never wanted to actually start. Like, it wasn't like, come on. Like, at the beginning, I never thought I would do something like that. I never thought I would start a Patreon. I didn't ever want to start one from the get-go. But it's something that really helps. So it's like I'm reliant on it. But at the same time, I would like to move away from it and find other ways. So it's
I mean, all the big YouTubers are doing that. Pretty much, like Rick said, pretty much everybody has a Patreon. It's just become part of like the YouTube game now, pretty much for anyone who's got a sizable audience.
Yeah, and it's not even just like this vlogging channel has a Patreon. It's like networks have a Patreon. Like like the Philly D network had one like for every channel, but they're not a person. It was just the channel. A ton of channels do. React channel. Everyone has.
And if it's not a Patreon or something like that, it's merch. A lot of these big YouTube channels sell merch. Like I hate to fucking talk about these kids, but the Logan Pauls and all those dudes, they put out these like rap videos like pretty much every week, just terribly easily produced stuff. But half of the goddamn video is them selling their merch to what is
the shirt with the buzz quote of the video.
Right,
is already for sale, it's.
That's actually one thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get into merch more. That's why I got
again. That's fine. That's part of the struggle.
Legendary collector T-shirt. Legendary collector T-shirt. Legendary collector T-shirt.
Yeah, I don't mind the merch side of it at all because you hustling. I feel like that's a hustle, but I feel like sometimes with the Patreon shit, it's almost like you hustling the people sometimes, like you're not just hustling, like what I mean. But I don't know. I'm in the middle with the shit. I totally understand it. I totally get it from both sides. But
whether or not there's something actually being produced that is actually something that is valuable for you in some kind of way. That's really what it comes down to. I think I've helped people save money without them even realizing it. I honestly believe I've helped people save money without them realizing it. How many times?
No, it's very true.
I've watched, and I know other reviewers. I know this because other reviewers have helped me save money. I never got that SH Figuarts Ultron.
Oh man, that thing is terrible.
I think you helped me realize that was one not to get. But I'm just saying that, and that at some point. That it's happened. $60 somewhere.
Yeah, want to move into the latest Marvel Legends news, I guess.
Yeah,
Do you have that information?
Todd messaged me. I'm sure if you guys don't know him, Rectangular Todd Ortiz, Rectangular on Instagram and on YouTube. Sent me something that he
With a
also
K.
posted as well, with a K, no C's around here, man. With a K. That we have a little product description for Octavius already out. You know, it's just very regular stuff. Mechanical four-armed appendaged villain Doc Ock comes in, you know, whatever it may be. But it's he revealed basically that he's single packed. He's not going to be a Build-A-Figure like some hoped or some wanted. And we also have a Build-A-Figure reveal for that wave. You guys just pronounce it SP-DR. It's the mech suit from Spider-Verse.
Hell yeah.
It's like a pretty big suit. It seems like it was a part of the storyline, although I didn't read it.
The
It
Japanese
looks,
Spider-Man.
it looks like a 3A figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashley would.
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
one of y'all
that's
bring up?
for sure.
Can one of y'all bring up the picture? Yeah, Ashley would.
I
That's
got
fine.
I got excited. I thought it was the mech from the Japanese Spider-Man show for a minute, and then I just googled.
Yeah, that's
What?
what.
That mech's
right?
like Jaeger something or other. I
I'm
don't know.
actually go ahead and read the the description. It says Otto Octavius gears up with 4 mechanical tentacled appendages as the evil genius Doc Ock with the Marvel Legends series. Both kid and adult Marvel fans can start a legendary collection of comic and movie-based Marvel characters. This 6-inch Doc Ock figure is highly articulated and features a comic-inspired design, making it another worthy addition to the Marvel Legends series. Collect all figures in this Spider-Man Legends series Build-A-Figure collection to assemble Marvel's SPDR. SP, is that how we can pronouncing it? SPDR? Is that
I
how
just call it Spider. That's all I call it.
Yeah,
Nice.
kind of the thing.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. All right, I get it. Okay. Additional figures sold separately, subject to availability. Copyright 2017. All right, so yeah, that was. Well, I'm confused though. That's going to be the product description for when the line drops, or what?
For when the line drops, like, you know, if you buy like on Amazon or you buy on like a
I got you.
Target.com,
Okay, that
that's
makes
the
sense.
product
All right.
description. Yeah.
Got you.
So it's just showing so far that we know that Doc Ock is single pack.
Interesting. So this year, honestly, 2017 was not as great as 2016, in my opinion, for Marvel Legends. 2017, but I think 2016 they had a better assortment of figures that you really were after. This year was a little lackluster, but I think 2018 is going to be pretty nuts, man. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out for Marvel Legends.
Yeah, and it's crazy that one wave is already showing up in Asia.
Yes.
The Mysterio having the tentacles coming out of its eye is fucking unreal.
Nuts.
Wait, what? I didn't see that, huh?
You didn't see that?
No,
Oh
Yeah, the
my
actual
God.
head underneath the helmet has like it's a translucent green, and it through the eyes and mouth, it's like a tentacle. It's sick. It's awesome.
Can I see a picture?
Picture
pulling
to
it up
the-
right
yeah,
now.
I just sent it to you, Boog.
Did you see the custom some guy did where he put an LED inside the helmet?
What?
Yeah.
Already? Damn, man,
Yeah.
it's not even out in the States yet.
No, it was a full custom.
sleep.
Some guy did.
Oh, it was a full custom. Okay.
Yeah.
But that looks sick.
It looks pretty similar, but it had like the cloth cape with the eyeball clasps and everything.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nuts. I was actually just looking at that before I changed the page.
Hell yeah.
See.
Yeah, Mysterio's gonna need a cloth cape for sure.
Oh wow.
I really like that whole wave.
Yeah,
Really?
you got a
Yeah.
picture?
Spider Punk, can't wait.
It's not up on Marvelous News yet.
No, yeah, because Todd literally just broke it before we started the podcast.
Oh, okay. We gotta go to
So no
Todd's.
one's had time to steal it yet.
You know, I was starting to think he was losing his touch, man, but Todd's always on top of it.
Man, Todd never sleeps. Also known as Rectangular on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
With the K.
That was okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got a picture of the bath here too. Here we go.
So what do we know so far this year for Legends that's supposed to be dropping? We got this.
They're fantastic.
All right, so we're gonna get Mr. Fantastic. We're gonna get Thing. Those are both gonna be Walmart exclusives. We're gonna get this wave that was just
Wait, Walmart, not Walgreens, or
Walgreens. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Walgreens exclusives for the final two figures from Fantastic Four to complete the Fantastic Four, and they
We're gonna
definitely
get
said Thing's gonna be a single pack figure.
that one Black Panther's already out in Asia. The one that's gonna be a Walmart exclusive with
which
like
one?
the purple.
Vibranium.
Oh, yeah, the Walmart exclusive one. Okay, that one's out. The Shuri and Claw 2 pack is dropping this month. As
I just got mine yesterday. Yep.
As is the
Man,
official.
how sick is that claw?
I haven't opened it yet.
You didn't open it yet, but you
Oh.
can see through the package that head sculpt is fucking really nice, man.
Real quick, here's the Marvel wiki description for the spider suit, the big mech thing. When Penny Parker was 9, her father died piloting the spider suit. She was informed by her Uncle Ben and Aunt May that she was the only person able to carry on the project and accepted the responsibility, allowing the radioactive spider that formed the other half of Spider's CPU to bite her. And I guess it's based on an Evangelion unit from the anime series.
So it's a female.
Yeah,
character.
it looks like an Evangelion. It looks
So
like
wait,
an Evangelion.
it's a female character then, yeah?
I guess so.
technically,
It's like a kid.
This mechs are supposed to mostly be female.
All right, so we're gonna get her. That means we're definitely gonna get the Riri Iron Man. I bet you that's happening then.
Sign me up. Just don't make her light skin like Black Panther.
oh god,
Feel bad I dropped
That
that.
likeness is perfect if it weren't for that.
That's funny.
Does anybody read that? The Riri book? I stopped reading it. I dropped it.
Was it bad?
It was like it had stopped for like a month. I think it had skipped a month or something, and then I was like, you know what? I lost interest in it. So I don't think it was bad, but it didn't really have me all.
Who was writing it?
It didn't grab you, basically.
Who was
Yeah,
writing
it
it?
grabbed me. I think Bendis was writing it.
Oh boy.
that's why.
Traitor.
Oh, I must. Yeah, traitor. I know. I'm excited for what he's going to bring to DC, though. I don't know.
What? The same fucking stories that he's been telling at Marvel all of this time with DC characters.
Nightwing is gonna be Winter Soldier.
Keep quipping.
Shit's crazy.
Well, here's the lizard wave, real quick. Also from Todd.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, that wave is fire.
That Gwenpool is
It's a
gonna
good
sell out so heavy.
Oh yeah,
That
of
Prowler.
course.
Jesus
That
Christ.
Prowler's pretty fucking nice though too. Mysterio's nice.
Yeah.
The lizard looks really good actually in person. When I saw it at HasCon, that was the last place I saw it, I guess. The lizard looks great.
The only
man. It's a
disappointment
fucking
here is
huge
that
figure,
the
too.
Spider Woman doesn't come with the detachable belly.
Hell
Oh yeah. Also,
Could you imagine?
Oh man.
That would have
What
been
about-
nuts. Could you imagine that?
What about Demo Goblin? We were supposed to get Demo Goblin originally with this wave, and it was supposed to have an alternate. No.
You know,
Well,
I was saying when that wave was first announced that something wasn't right because they don't do 8-figure waves.
Nah, I was like, yeah.
Well, Todd
They do
talked about
seven and a double 8 and a double for the 8.
He talked
True.
about it in this video. Said that more than he thinks that they dropped the figure. You know what they might do is actually put it out as like a Walgreens exclusive or something, because you know sometimes those figures have the assortment from a particular wave on the back of those boxes, like they were simple, originally supposed to be part
Oh,
of that
like
wave.
Agent Venom.
Right.
Agent Venom with
So-
the original Spider.
I could totally see it being like another Walmart Spider-Man 2-pack of some sort.
Yep.
I could totally
So,
see that as well. Make us
yeah.
buy another Spider-Man.
We gotta wait and see what's gonna happen. But
They'll always make us buy another Spider-Man.
what else?
Oh.
What else is coming out this year that you guys are like excited for? Not necessarily just Legends, just like anything that you know.
The Predator Bone Throne.
Mephisto's Throne. What was that?
Well, that was the mock-up that they did. The real one's going to be a fully new sculpt. That was just something they put together for that particular toy fair to like gauge fan response or whatever.
Oh,
And
man.
enough people wanted it that they actually like fully made it. That
Why
was
don't we
something
get to
Spawn
the-
put together.
Why don't we get to the real meat and potatoes of having both of the Homecoming Spider-Man hot toys coming out? Everyone
yeah.
needs them immediately. Have you seen those figures? It looks like it's Tom Holland.
Which ones?
On your shelf.
Which ones?
The Homecoming Tony suit and the homemade suit just look unreal. I wish Nick Rogers was here. He'd be giving me
Oh,
all
hell
types
yeah.
of giant-sized high fives.
You wouldn't be able to reach the fucking high five.
Hey man, I got a step ladder in my house. I got a step ladder.
So I guess we got a lot of people in the viewing in right now live, we can start taking some questions.
Yeah.
Do that.
Here's the real quick the new mock-up for the new one.
Nice.
Obviously, it's still kind of like based on that design of the Mephisto throne.
Yeah, so they took the Mephisto throne and put some other shit on top of it. Got
Hey,
it.
bro, can you sculpt over this? Yeah.
Can I copy your homework? Sure, but just change a few things.
Just change a few things, man. It looks dope though. I won't lie, but
Oh no, it looks sick.
we're gonna get
Regardless
a
of
Predator
Mephisto
actually
or
to
not,
get a sit on
it's
that
sick.
shit. Is it possible for
Nah, they
Predator
don't
to
be
sit on
bending
it?
like that.
Yeah, the clan leader sits on this guy. I mean, you can put any predator on
Leader? What type of racist shit?
it.
With
Called the clan
detachable
leader, not the
hood.
Grand Dragon.
Detachable hood.
God damn.
Horrible. But
Recreate
yeah, you can
one of
probably put any
Chappelle's
predator on
best
it, especially
skits.
the ultimates. It'll be fine.
What you looking for this
Put
year?
Weird Al on it.
What you looking for to coming out this year, P?
Tien is like shipping now, apparently.
Right.
Japanese
Yeah.
Tien.
No doubt.
He's out in the wild. He's in the
Yeah,
cut right now.
Darius
so I'm
already
really
has
excited.
him.
Of course.
He took a picture with
Yeah.
it in hand.
Goku releases next month. So this month,
Yes.
at the end of this month. Supposedly Tien is supposed to hit US retailers on the 16th this month. I don't know about that, but just in terms of like Dragon Ball, Goku Black comes out in March.
Yep.
2.0 Frieza is April. Vegeta is slated. Majin Vegeta is slated for May. That 2.0 like regular Goku is June. And then August is Majin Buu, and that's all that's like confirmed for this year. That's literally my whole year.
Yeah, get ready for February. February is going to give us an insight into like a lot of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. February is Toy Fair. If you guys don't know,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Try to make it out there.
I guess Hasbro will have their little separate event during that time too. I'm already good for Toy Fair. I already got my acceptance or whatever, so that's cool. Russ, you gonna be out here?
Yeah, I gotta go check online. I'm not sure if I actually have a badge right now or not. I gotta look at it.
Well, if you already applied, I'm sure they you should have it.
Can't remember if I applied or not. Which email did I do?
You got to do that shit like now though.
Okay.
If you haven't, but yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. And I already I guess RSVP with Mezco. So I'll definitely be chopping it up with them at Toy Fair next month. That's next month, by
Ask
the way.
what
Yeah.
our classic Thor is.
Get a nice, good list of questions. A lot of shit I want to talk to Mezco about. But yeah, let's take some questions.
When's Mezco gonna get better ankle pivot?
Yeah, definitely.
February.
That's like one of my number one concerns with Mezco, man.
They just need to open up the socket a little bit more for the ball joint.
It's like I said, when my top 10 figures of 2017, like you can't offer an $80 figure with no ankle pivot. Like it's just not right. It's not right, man. It's not right.
I mean, you are meant to pose them. That was their whole design engineering going into it. You know, they didn't just make it to sit on your shelf. You know, they want you to pose it. But
Oh man, I saw a picture the other day. Somebody had the it just looks so dumb when you have the figure like with their legs spread and then they're just like on their ankle. Like the shit looks retarded. Like they didn't even give it to fucking the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Like what? Why is what? Come on, man. You got to introduce a new buck for the Spider-Man figure.
Yeah.
At the very least. Like, you know?
I mean, I asked him that at San Diego, and he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty much just the body we had at the time."
That's it. You know, Spider-Man's not that agile or anything. You know, he doesn't really do shit.
He doesn't need ab crunch.
Right. Spider-Man?
I mean, if they can
Man.
improve
He's
on
not
it,
the Blob.
Spiders don't even have abs.
Let's
That's
talk
some-
about more legs, and
That's
then
some
we'll
Todd
get into the
McFarlane
abs.
like reasoning right there. Like,
All that articulation, and why do you need that?
why do you need that?
I'll pose it for you. You never even have to touch it. Don't worry about it.
I think Russ actually had one of the best interviews with McFarlane because you could see the realization in his eyes when Russ tells him, like, yeah, but people pose them because it's like they're the sculptor, or, you know, whatever you said. And you could see him light up like, oh.
He also looked like he was mad at the same time. Like he never thought of that.
I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you. You definitely been like wearing Todd McFarlane down for like the past like 5 years and shit. Like really just trying to like get through to him and shit.
Hey man, I still think to this day the only reason we got those Stranger Things is Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I just picked up an 11 figure too, so I'm gonna review it.
Yeah, she's hideous, but it's a great figure.
And let's not one of Russ's best moments. While I have him here, we need to praise him for bringing Harley Quinn DC icons to that Hasbro interview.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
That was like,
Man, the look on their face when you did that, like, no, this
bro, the
motherfucker did. Somebody get security.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing this real quick.
But the next year I brought a Princess Leia. I was like, okay, at least it's still Hasbro, right? Hasbro's doing it. Like, I know it's here. I know it's here.
You did the other. You did the other worst thing when these Marvel and Star Wars guys, they fucking hate each other, man. Like, no, you didn't just bring a Star Wars in here.
The big boys, they're fucking frat boys.
I did it myself just to test it, and I went up to one of them and I did that, and they were just like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Star Wars, get out of here!"
Now that I got mad when you said that they use the face printing tech first. Jeez.
Check the questions. Yeah, what the hell y'all doing?
I'm showing this Mysterio head. I'm waiting for you guys to comment here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the wait. You're gonna be able to pop off the fishbowl and change out the head, or what?
Like
the fishbowl's connected to the cape. It seems like.
Oh, okay.
So he's got this like tentacle deal that is also his like mist of like green smoke. Also has the tentacles in it. It's very like Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, you can see the tentacles through that as well.
Yeah, that's tight.
And it's dope because you're going to be able to pose the head or put a completely different other head in the globe.
Yeah, that was going to be my next. That was going to be my next question. Would you be able to just pop off the head, put some different heads?
Or you unmask him Scooby-Doo style at the end of the episode?
Scooby. It was Aunt May the whole time.
It wasn't for you fucking kids.
Okay,
I hated your
mom. Subject of this Legends wave. Midwestern Takeover is asking, do you think Hasbro will cheap out on the Doc Ock tentacles? The track record with non-cape back attachments isn't great, but the 2-pack Vulture had a clever backpack, though no articulation.
You know
Dude,
what? If they don't have,
not even including them.
If they don't, hilarious. If they don't have bendy wire in the fucking tentacles, then like or some type of articulation, then it's gonna be trash.
They're gonna be static. Bet.
Didn't they do some other tentacles recently that were static? Oh,
yeah, Deadpool's.
The Deadpool ones, yeah, that kind of thing is what
I haven't even opened that figure. That shit's still sitting on my shelf. I'm not opening
it. Yeah, leave it sealed, honestly.
Yeah.
Sealed.
Russ, what do you think?
Oh, Pat.
Yeah, if they don't make it with bendy wire, it's gonna be a letdown. It's gonna be a bummer. What else could they possibly do? Like what they did with the 3 3/4 inch one? Like cut it up and then give them swivels all the way through?
Oh God, nothing but swivels.
Yes.
I'd rather have like pivot joints, like the universal joints. That way you can like get more movement. It'll still look stupid, but it'll at least be better than what we've been given beforehand.
The only reason I'm worried is that it's a single pack figure, and I'm just like,
gotta make that $20 budget work.
I'm imagining the plugs in the back or the male end of the tentacles will plug into the back, kind of like the beetle wings where they have a hinge to them, but that's about it.
Yeah, I can up and down from the base of the tentacle, but that's just from the base, and that's it.
I want them to really go to distance, man, and every part to be like, I don't know. I want the bendy wire, but I want the actual claws to be articulated. Like, I don't know. I want to break your heart, man.
On a Hasbro. You basically want to toy this on a Hasbro.
Like Poker Mike brings up a good point. Machine Man had bendy arms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Man, we're about to get really short Machine Man reuse photos. The shortest tentacles in the game.
Oh, could you imagine? They just plug in, like, they take the hand off and you just plug in a tentacle.
And everybody's gonna be like, "Hey man, who got extra tentacles? Hook me up."
Dude, it actually probably
will. Your man value gonna go up. Real quick.
Oh yeah, man. I'm
that's
ready.
Exactly what they're doing, guys. We figured it out because that's how they're gonna sell all those old Machine Mans that are still.
Crack the code. Next
They
time,
did
a
a
Mockingbird,
recall.
we'll be all right.
You know this
They
was
did
part
a
of their
recall.
conversation.
And
Hasbro's
you know what?
fucking
You know what
cheesing
they
us.
do with the Machine Man figure? They made Paladin.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Paladin,
Wow, man.
Blade. Yeah, Paladin uses the Blade Machine Man part.
Very sneaky, sis, but we figured it
Yo,
out.
you're right. That stock. I like it.
All right, what's the next question?
Let's see. Do you think this is the year? This is from True Starscreamer. Do you think this is the year Mattel finally gets it right with the DC figure?
Somebody call in E40. It's gonna be a nope.
Oh shit! You know what? Speaking of True Starscreamer, he actually told me we forgot to talk about this, but he actually told me that Storm is supposed to be doing Injustice figures. Is that something that's new? I think you guys were saying that they announced this a little while back.
A couple weeks back, yeah, they announced that they had the license, but not so much have they announced characters yet.
Interesting.
But we know it'll be the 7-inch scale they're doing now.
Right.
And that's pretty much all we know. We don't know the characters, but we know they keep grabbing all the fighting licenses. So I could see them doing the biggest ones first.
So what was the better line for y'all this year from Storm? Was it the Mortal Kombat stuff or the Street Fighter stuff?
That for sure.
Yeah.
Even though I love Street Fighter as a brand more, like I enjoy that way more. I actually enjoy the figures that Storm put out for Mortal Kombat way better.
I would
That
have said
reptile, I can't wait to get.
I would have said Mortal Kombat if it wasn't for the fact that so many of the things were delayed. So I'm going with Street Fighter just on the simple fact that they were just, I guess, more consistent with release. I don't know why Mortal Kombat got the shaft with.
How many of y'all picked up that Zangief?
I did.
Oh man, this guy.
I got to mess with it. That's about it. I don't actually want one of those because I feel
everyone's paperweight.
It's a lot of fucking plastic, man.
Yeah,
He's fucking enormous.
that's what she said.
I've just had him like posed on my shelf like for the last 3 months, just like holding the SH Figure Arts Ryu like in the air, like no strings attached. Like it's like the easiest NSA figure to work with, period. Because you just like attach anything to him.
Oh, hey, I gotta ask while you guys are here. Please tell me the general consensus for Street Fighter figures. Is it Storm Collectibles over SH Figure Arts? Or is it the other way around?
It's divisive, really. I think everybody so far has been leaning more towards figure arts, but I see a lot of people going heavy for the Storm.
Yeah, especially when they dropped.
I see a lot of people try to put them with their Mortal Kombat figures, and if that's the case, you both Storm.
And who we just brought up is the biggest example of people mixing. Like everybody buys Zangief and just uses it with SHF.
Yeah,
because it's the perfect size. Especially when you see in-game model, it looks like just the perfect size.
We'll see what happens. SHF is about to drop Akuma this month, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
I think it's this month. So we'll see how they do with that figure and see if that gives them a little edge in the Street Fighter Wars or whatever. But Storm really knocked it out of the park with that.
To talk about Storm, they got me worried with this Injustice line, man. Their people look really brawlic.
Yeah,
and it makes sense for SH for Street Fighter and for Mortal Kombat and stuff like that for them to look like that. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of characters in Injustice that are really slim.
They're gonna be.
So I'm hoping.
And they've done the same thing to Hogan and to their upcoming Tyson.
Yeah, they're
Tyson,
they're really bulky, and I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm a little weary right now.
I didn't really like the way the head sculpt looked for Tyson, man. It didn't look right.
Yeah, head sculpt's not right. It's
not compared to the 1/6 ones. Absolutely nail it. I can't believe they dropped the ball on it.
It's like they mixed two different eras Mike Tyson, and it's weird. I'm still gonna buy it because I love Mike Tyson, but it's messed up. Anybody that tells you that it's not is lying.
You definitely got to have a suspension of disbelief looking at that figure.
Yeah, it's very much like their art style, You
got to be like, well, maybe this was an animated episode. Where
it's the Mike Tyson Mystery Adventures one.
But
oh my god, dude, put a goddamn blue jumpsuit on him. It's over.
It's over.
Damn. Somebody call up NECA. Tell him we need a Weird Al in a blue jumpsuit to steal from.
Yeah, it'll be done in an hour.
You know what's kind of killing it? What shit I was looking forward to this year was like Star Wars stuff from SH Figure Arts, like you know, the new age shit. But like now that I didn't really dig the Last Jedi that much, like I don't know, I kind of don't give a fuck about the figures now.
It's just so many.
That has a lot to do with it, man. That has everything to do with it, right? How are you gonna have fun with the figure if you didn't even like the movie?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
and SHF has actually like they've streamlined making those figures so much that they make so many and they come out so quickly and in bunches now. Their Star Wars stuff because it's so popular, and it's like, man, I don't even want to collect this line. You release like 3 figures at once, like who the fuck has this kind of money?
Yeah, if it's $20 figures, that's one thing, but
Right, but yeah,
you're paying
$50
for
a pop.
an entire wave.
And I got
or
complaints
entire
about the
case.
movie. It's just it turns me off.
I
That's
did
why I
just I did just get what's this other fella's name that got killed by Darth Maul? Qui-Gon Jinn. I just got the SHF one like the other day actually. It's funny that you said that, and I had to pay a little bit more for that shit too. But
You know what? I'm buying the SHF stuff from the first trilogy, but I'm just not buying anything else. I'm
Yeah.
selective with the episode 1, 2, and 3 stuff, but I'm definitely not buying in any way, shape, or form any modern Star Wars figures. Like, I'm not buying no more Kylo Rens. I'm not buying no more Reys.
yeah,
Phasmas, who's just gonna get dropped down a
Fuck Ben
firewell.
Solo.
this last Phasma that they put out right now was actually much better. It was the one that we deserved from the gate. But
Let me
We
tell
haven't
you
got the
something.
character we deserve.
unless
yeah,
I
but
get
the
Kylo
character,
Ren,
yeah,
unless I get Kylo Ren with
shit.
the big nips, I'm not buying nothing.
yeah.
Okay, well let's talk about that. Let's be honest.
That shit was kind of jarring, right? You didn't expect that shit at all. It was like, what the
Out of all the titties I wanted to see in the Star Wars universe,
it's not Kylo
not
Ren.
one of them.
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Fantastic Phasmas.
Hello.
The Phasma twins. The Phasma twins.
Yeah, that shit was kind of nuts.
Tormund's
What was that? Why did they need to put that in at all?
I don't
The
know. That was
director had
really
a
weird.
nipple fetish, and he was like, "Guys, this could be my one chance."
Dude, the whole thing was straight up like, "Oh, you just caught me coming out of the shower." Sorry.
I mean, it felt like somebody. It felt like Ryan Johnson had watched Twilight, and he was like, "That's what we do. We make one of them take off their shirt."
Team Jacob, Oh yeah.
Team Finn or Team Kylo?
Shit.
I ship Kyren.
But damn, he's already made up the celebrity nickname.
How about another question here? Someone had a good Marvel Legends question. What do you guys think the third writer or whatever for the new legendary writers line for whatever they're gonna call it? There's gonna be a third one, they've said, right?
Oh yeah, I think
I thought it was
talked
Ghost
about this in
Rider
my
with the
video.
car.
No, it was Ghost
I
Rider,
don't know about that.
motorcycle. It's Black Widow, and then probably one more, which is probably gonna be the same motorcycle mold as.
It's about to be Captain America or Winter Soldier.
I thought it would be like Logan on a motorcycle.
Or
I
Logan.
could see him doing Logan, just re-releasing
Because
the old man logo.
old man Logan, exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Todd mentioned that it might be Logan, and I mentioned it in my I don't know, one of these videos I had last too that I thought that as well. So
From
it
the
makes sense.
the ambitions as a rider wave.
Yeah.
It makes sense though for another motorcycle. I don't see them jumping out the window and doing some other vehicle in this first sort of wave. Like, it's not going to be a car or like, it's going to be another motorcycle.
But am I tripping that didn't they first mention something or say something about the Ghost Rider car?
Sort of like in a joking way, but like, I will say that Dwight's been kind of like sly about how he's been doing shit, lately. Like he's been actually having his poker face on and shit, and definitely some things that we've mentioned that he didn't allude to at all. They dropped.
You got to imagine the more he has his poker face on, the more you think like, man, I'm going somewhere.
Right.
Like it's working against him. I'm sure he thinks like, yeah, they're not gonna break me. But it's just like, man, when you don't say nothing, it makes me think that it's coming. Because when something isn't gonna happen, you say, like, no, we're not thinking about that.
He wasn't at this round table thing that we had some months back, but those guys pretty much had no poker face, and and they pretty much confirmed that we're gonna get Professor X. As far as I'm concerned, they were just like, it's happening. Like,
when they asked, like, would you guys like to see that? It means they're already working on it.
Right? Yeah, no doubt.
This is like a pre-order, but verbal.
Verbal.
We're gonna get our new suited body, so we don't have just the chameleon anymore.
Oh
Right.
yeah, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, that would be nice. A nice medium size.
Yeah, because
Suited
it'll
body.
probably be that chameleon body mold just with a black suit and white shirt instead, right?
Oh, here was an interesting question. Do you guys think we should get a Spider-Man on the Bullseye body, kind of like a Romita era Spidey?
That'd be interesting.
I'll take any Spider-Man version they give me. But
Yeah, I mean, if they want to,
Well, we got the
as they're gonna do, put another Spider-Man in a 2-pack, that'd be a good time to try to use a new body mold on it.
you know what?
Thing where they threw the McFarlane Spidey.
isn't it the Spidey 2099 mold, right? So we already got Spider-Man with that body.
Well, now
That's true,
the 2099 mold is a little taller than the Bullseye.
I think the legs are different.
Different legs, yeah.
Yeah,
It's the same articulation scheme, but it's not the same exact mold.
Oh, the legs
Man.
are different.
They
They
both
should
got the
start
butterfly
taking-
joints and shit and the big feet.
They
Yeah,
should
this point,
start
they-
taking cues. They should start taking cues from DC Collectibles and start doing like old
I never thought I'd hear
animated
that
aimed
loud.
packs.
What the fuck
I mean,
happened
'cause,
to
you know,
DC Collectibles this
Right?
year, man?
Holy shit.
They don't know what they're doing, man. They do something good and then they're like, never mind, we're gonna stop and we're gonna
The
hold
line of bombshells that you guys are eating up, we're gonna cancel it because
Right.
icons. Let's reboot it twice in the same year.
Let's
Yeah. The scale now
But
that
we're still gonna act like Icons is gonna come back at some point.
They rose
And not
the
act like
they put up the price on the Batman animated series figures too.
It's like $30
Yeah.
each, right?
Yeah.
And I
Nuts.
keep telling people are loving this new Essentials line, but I keep telling them there's gonna be no interchangeable parts.
Nah.
They said it many times, like, oh, we're not gonna have no interchangeable parts, so they'll be cheap. Like they'll be $19.99. Like, man, what? There's gonna be no
Yeah,
hands,
but
no
here-
heads, no accessories.
With paying $25 for a DC Collectibles figure that I know won't A, break, and B, has some interchangeable parts. I get that the market is different for a Marvel Legends than it is for a DC Collectibles, because one is way more of a specialty market because of the design of the how they're making them. But man, like, I don't need cheaper, I just need better.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Give me my
Nobody-
money's worth.
nobody cared about the price when the figures were good.
No, exactly. There's people who would gladly pay triple the price when a figure drops because of how fire it is. Also, kind of hype beastie.
When
But
you
the fact
do
of the
things,
matter is,
when you do things at that level, with certain figures, DC Icons was almost becoming like an import figure. So when it was becoming at that level and you were advancing, I didn't care. I didn't care that I had to pay a certain amount of money for the Green Lantern pack with all the fucking attachments. Like that was dope.
oh, absolutely,
the
that was worth
films
it.
line that was only 2 figures in, and it was like $50 each.
The film line. You know what? And I really like those figures. I got them super cheap. That could help hinder it, but
Yeah, a lot of people argued that was the best armored Batman.
yeah, that Superman wasn't even bad either. I've seen people turn that into a million different customs. That had so much potential.
Oh yeah, that Superman is really well articulated. The sculpt is.
I was
dope.
so excited for that Wonder Woman.
Dallas
and
Dallas
it
James is
dropped.
the king of using that to make incredible figures.
Absolutely.
I really wanted a General Zod from them.
Oh, that would have been sick, especially because like it would have been pretty easy to do.
Yeah, totally.
Trying to get that head snap going.
Oh, make your neck click.
Well, yeah. What else are you gonna do with them?
Well,
Moving on. Let's see. We still need those Sandman relaxed arms. People are saying the bullseye body for Spidey would be kind of like the '90s cartoon Spidey.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was bringing
That
up
I
with
would
DC
see.
Collectibles. I would love
Right.
like '90s cartoon related like 2-packs or like a pack.
Well,
of
that's
Toys
kind of
R
what they
Us.
did with the Vulture 2-pack. That was a Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate
based on the
Spider,
cartoon.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm still waiting on getting. You remember the MU pack that we got? That was, I mean, MU sucks, but the MU pack that
Oof.
was the giant size X-Men one that was Toys R Us. When are we gonna
Yes!
get that, but with Legends, bro? Where's that?
Never, but that would be so cool. That was
Thunderbird,
so sick.
At?
Yes.
Storm, a Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Give me that.
Mm.
No more Mohawk Storm.
No, we want that classic.
No more Mohawks in 2018.
Yeah, butt cheek storm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we're only-
Cammy inspired Storm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Firestorm with another Iceman and a new Spider-Man.
Oh man, a Super Friends pack. Let's get that little annoying
Yes.
dog too. Let's do it.
Yo.
I could see them doing that for sure. A 3-pack, I could see that
Yeah,
happening.
they
for
did
sure.
it in
Spider-Man
MU.
and his amazing friends.
Yeah.
And then
Amazing.
they did
That's
that in the
super
Army Builder pack.
gonna drop like a really heavy question right now, and I just want to say that now that Disney owns Fox Pictures, who do you think should play a new Wolverine?
Oh Lord.
Ooh, oh man,
Scott Eastwood, done deal.
I'm going Danny DeVito.
Yes.
It's like geriatric Logan.
He's the right height.
Where the fuck is Scott Summers?
No, he can't be. He can't be Wolverine because he's already Puck.
Right.
That's funny.
I mean, you
Charlie.
definitely one thing everybody has to realize is that nobody's going to be short enough. So just go with somebody that's like 5'8" or 5'10".
Somebody could be short enough. They just not casting properly. They want a
Kevin Hart,
star that's.
Listen, people, I gotta go get Gene back, people. Okay, wait.
You ain't ready. The problem with my claws is.
Hey, the thing about these claws, man, is that when I'm a Scott face, I'm catching his eyes, man. I'm cutting them eyes.
The Rock as Scott Summers. I like this.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Just the Jumanji cast back, but in proper roles. Karen Gillian as what's her face? Jean Grey. Jack Black as Professor X. Sign me up.
Yeah,
It would be a good
I just never want to see Jennifer as Mystique again. I don't want to see Mystique at all, honestly.
For another decade. I'd be happy with
Jennifer
this.
Lawrence, period, man.
I don't know why they think that we love Mystique. We don't. We never loved Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, that was their
capacity.
bankable star. That was their face.
Because they signed her cheap. They had her for 3
was the sex
movies,
appeal in the
they
original
signed her
movie.
cheap.
The best thing they ever did was signing Sansa. That was awesome.
It's just
hell
such a product of the time. Like she's such a 2000s product, like the latex bodysuit nude, look.
Yeah,
Such a 2000s thing.
let's leave that in 2002, bro.
Right.
All right. So what's the next question?
Let's see.
Well, we actually didn't even really answer.
We didn't even
question
answer.
about
Who y'all want
Wolverine, but
We heard Jacobs. We heard
real
Jakes.
quick, Wolverine. Who you want? I don't know. I can't really think of anybody. I don't know. Hugh Jackman was fucking great. He just didn't get the light that he really needed to really this whole Fox thing should have happened a long time
Logan
ago.
was a good send off, but yeah.
You know what? I liked Logan, but I didn't like the final act though. Like it lost me when they started getting with the kids and going to this. I don't know. Everything else was fucking amazing though.
Yeah, the Logan clones were fucking badass. Or the one Logan clone. That was just such a what a good idea for a villain for that movie.
So I don't know no new young Hollywood short guys.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
man.
he's not really
I'm saying Scott Eastwood.
I'm just agreeing with Jake right now because I can't think of anything else. So Jake,
Let me see a picture of Scott Eastwood.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I'm saying
Oh
Tom
man,
Cruise.
let's get an "I love this woman" with Gene scene.
Oh, on the couch in the X Mansion?
Nah, dude, he's not jumping on no couch. He's jumping on the hover chair.
Oh. All right.
I love this woman. Logan, please.
Do it though. Would you buy it? Because he's getting. I mean, as he gets older and he never lets down on his workout routine or whatever the hell he's doing, the guy's getting like huskier.
My only
Tom
issue
Cruise?
is believing his anger because Wolverine has to be angry as fuck.
Are we talking about Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom
for
Cruise.
Wait, hold on. Tom Cruise. The past 3 action movies Tom Cruise has been in, he literally has CGI layers over him because of how old he is. Like it's not. He doesn't look as good as you think he does. Like his acting days are starting to run down.
You got to think about it. Wolverine snarls a lot, and do you really want that middle tooth snarling at you?
I'll cry. I'll cry in the theater. No.
Go look. Tom Cruise has the tooth in the
Where's
middle
the picture of Scotty?
There's one. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There's one of him. It's like all done up in the Wolverine getup and everything to kind of help sell you on it. Let me see if I can find it.
All these young actors that are kind of short that I can think of are plagued with "I look like I'm 17 forever."
Oh, here we
Like
go. All right, yeah.
Logan
How do
Lerman,
I
all those guys.
screen
They all look young as shit.
How do I screen share on this thing? All right.
Does anyone here watch Superpower Beatdown?
Yeah.
The guy that plays their Wolverine has the perfect.
Not bad. Yeah, I like him.
Physique is like 100% perfect. I don't know how great of an actor he is or whatever, but that's obviously
I was
if
just
you're
going
going
to say,
for
get that guy
someone
some acting classes.
Well, exactly. But this guy's physique is 100% perfect. I mean, hang on a sec.
I mean, as long as there's a moldable model there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
as
dude
long
that
as
you're
he doesn't
talking
act
about,
like this.
Fabio, definitely. I said the dude that you're talking about, he definitely has the look down for sure.
I met him in real life. He's a real nice dude too.
Oh, yeah?
You know, but he's a bodybuilder, you know, but he's also got a short stature. I mean,
You asked him to make a muscle for you,
Oh Lord.
Can you flex me real quick?
Fabio. Fabio hung off of his arm while he held up his muscle.
right in front of the Hooters hostess.
What was
You know
the
what
name
I?
again?
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Jonathan Carroll.
Jonathan Terrell.
Carroll.
Sign
terrible.
me up. Sign me up for Braun Strowman from WWE being Colossus.
Oh,
All right.
or Sabretooth.
Or say, dude, that guy's fucking huge. I was just going to say, you know, you could find a wrestler that could fit
Yeah.
Wolverine's look.
Remember
Oh,
that time they found
Look at that. This is Wolverine right here.
my God.
He could pull
No
this. I
doubt.
mean, this guy, he could pull off the suit, you know.
Well, he could just be the double, I guess.
Yeah, I
The
mean that's what he
mask.
is. He's a stunt actor too. So,
At the very least, he could be the double.
but
Yeah.
but the problem is finding an actor that matches his physique as opposed to the stunt double.
Right. Yeah,
matching
no
the actor.
doubt. No
What do you
doubt.
think about here I am with the Scott Eastwood thing?
Where you at, bro?
Right here. I don't know if you can
Wow
see,
me.
you see it.
Yeah,
Can you
okay.
see it?
Hey, that's
You know
not
what I'm
bad.
saying? I got a couple good shots of him. I think he looks like him, honestly.
Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just like when people started showing that the dude that plays Winter Soldier looks just like Mark Hamill.
Right.
Yes.
It's very similar looking. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I could see it. Jake. Homeboy might actually. I don't know. He looks kind of pretty to me, but yeah, if you put the beard
I
on
mean,
him,
he's his father's son.
Yeah.
In terms of
And I
being
know a
able
lot
to
of people
act.
when they were talking about, you know, rumor wise making an Old Man Logan movie before just fan casting. A lot of people put Clint Eastwood as an Old Man Logan.
Hmm.
I mean, that movie is a Western, you know.
he would have
Yeah,
to
maybe
be an
not now,
old,
definitely in the-
old man Logan.
Right.
though.
I mean, this is like
in the 90s, late 2000s, maybe.
Right.
But
all right, moving on. Another question, I guess. Apparently there's
how
a
old is
rumor-
Clint Eastwood right now? He's got to be like fucking
Like
80.
70, yeah.
No, he's way older than 70. Gotta be like 80. Let's see. I see a lot of people chiming in for different fan casting. Kerry Washington would be a good storm.
Yes.
I don't know.
Zac Efron for a new Logan. I don't know about
What?
Oh, please no, get out of here.
Please.
No.
If anything, Scott Summers.
Yes.
If anything.
that. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I would actually be
He's
so
kind
down
of
for
short
that.
though, right? Isn't he pretty
No,
short?
he's 6'2", I want to
Is
say.
it?
Yeah.
He just looks really short because his
He's 5'8".
person that he's always with is
5'8"?
tall as shit.
Oh, yeah, he's
What?
short.
Oh, whoa. Wow,
Wow.
he's even wow, he's kind of short.
I used to know that I'm taller than at least Zac Efron. All right.
There you
Well, at
go.
least I know that I'm not taller than Zac Efron.
Oh, poor Rick. All right, it's okay.
All right.
All right, what's the next question we got down there?
How about worst figure of the year? I want to hear what Russ
Ooh.
thinks about this because he's probably gone through a lot of bad figures this year.
No, I don't really like to buy figures that I think are gonna suck. You know, I don't like spending money on stuff that I think is gonna be hella weak. But yeah, so I don't have a definitive worst figure on the top of my head I could actually bring up. I need to think about it.
Well, I said my worst Marvel Legend was the Blade figure.
Yeah, that one was pretty disappointing.
It was mostly the disappointment. It wasn't even that it was a bad figure. I mean, it was some bad mechanics as far as the legs and shit, and they just picked the wrong buck altogether. But it was really the disappointment that really, like, you know, like, damn, I wanted this to be dope. You know, and it wasn't. It was terrible.
I think my worst Mezco is probably that Miles Morales Spidey. Even though I'm happy to have it, it's just, you know,
Once I saw pictures of him, once I saw that he wasn't even like us on a smaller buck, I was like, fuck that, I'm not buying that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't do anything different as far as ankle pivot, and you know, we talked about this earlier. Like, come on, man, you can't put out a Spider-Man that can't move.
I can't. I feel like the vintage. No, I want to say like the vintage collection figures. I really wasn't really excited about those, to be honest. You know, I keep trying to think of something that really bummed me out. I mean, I gotta say, by far, DC Multiverse figures consistently disappoint to the
Oh,
so
yes,
far to the
I was
point
just-
that I don't
yep.
even like get surprised anymore.
Damn,
But, like,
I totally forgot. I kind of like blacked those out of my mind, but yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah,
bought
exactly. Like
I
you
bought
got
recently
so
that
used to them being over there that you don't even mess with them anymore, right?
that
Where's less
Duke Robin. I was so excited
Oh
for
my
that figure.
god, yeah.
I not only did I buy it, but if anybody doesn't know this, that entire wave, the Duke Robin wave, that wave's barcodes are different than the old barcodes. So if you take it to Target, they'll price it at whatever the hell you tell them to. It doesn't read in the system. So when I took it up there, they're like, "How much is this?" I was like, $5. And
Nice.
but that's besides the point. I paid $5 for that thing, and I think I was paid by 4.
Man, he has like a diaper on and stuff. That is a terrible figure.
It can't move for beans, man.
Wait, which figure are you talking about?
Duke from the
Robin.
what Batman story is he from? Like year 1 or year 0?
He's from the rookie wave, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's terrible, man.
so bad.
And
He
DC
deserves
Multiverse
better.
has good baths, but God, they make you buy some
Good
shitty.
bats, bad
that.
figures. It's
Yeah.
like the Clayface. I can't wait for that, but I'm not gonna buy any of the figures. So it's like, what's
That's
the
what
point?
that's what
King
I said,
Shark?
and I couldn't get King Shark because of that.
No, King Shark. I had to end up buying on secondary market.
How much
Like,
did you pay?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I paid like $62 for that bad boy,
That's
but
not bad. I may have to do that. That's not
That's
bad.
horrible.
No,
That's
that's
less
He's
than a
huge.
whole.
It's hella
that's
big
a
too.
good looking figure. That's a really
He
good looking
is.
figure. I'm
He is.
jealous. I'm jealous.
I'm gonna
That's a
have
good.
to do that, man. I need to find
you
a
know-
$60.
I got the one with the normal shark, not the hammerhead one, but they're sick.
Oh, Hammerhead is easy to get. That Robin is everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Real
find
quick to go back to sleeper hits, I forgot to mention. How about that? The DC Icons Doomsday versus Superman 2-pack. That was pretty solid.
Also,
Yeah.
dude, that was hard. That was not fun to pose. I mean, it was fun. It was hard to pose them.
Yes.
It was fun taking pictures once I got the poses. So it's like I had fun with it, but it was hard to have fun with it.
I actually broke my first one. I had to return it and get an exchange.
Luckily, I didn't get any breaks. But yeah, I mean, but they're cool. But
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I kind of pose them, because the box kind of lends itself to being its own little scene. So I
Yeah.
kind of pose them outside of their bubble in the box,
yeah.
and then I just left them alone.
It definitely reminds me of a hobby I have.
I threw out an A.C.B.A. plug in that video, just FYI, if any of you guys.
Yeah, you know what's funny is when I was talking to homeboy from DC last year, I had kind of sarcastically asked like, who came up with that idea? Where'd that come from and shit? But
Where's
he
the
didn't really-
money?
I don't know if he understood or if he was like really he had his poker face on. I don't know if he understood or if he was just like totally dodging it, But yeah, that was weird.
Oh, so yeah, because how do you tell somebody like that idea right there? Yeah, I was doing that. Like I've been doing that for years now. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention all the Rebel tags all come with cutouts.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Anyway.
you gotta cut him out, but yeah. No
Well,
doubt.
yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say though? Is that what you wanted to say to him? Like, hey, that's my idea.
Not in so many words, but yeah, like wow.
Kind of hard to think of a quick way to go about it. That's what I'm trying to get at. You either sound like a total douchebag,
Right.
You gotta,
kind of try to hint at it a little bit, and it gets awkward.
you have to
but
be like,
when I did it was more of a nod to the audience and shit who were gonna be seeing it like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
you
like
You did a hint
no,
at
I
it.
would just straight up ask them like what their inspiration was. Was it something that they'd noticed, as a trend in how people collect and display their figures, and that's why they wanted to do it? No, just to kind of say that it has been a trend.
Was it perhaps they found a trademark that they liked or something? I don't know. So how can we infringe upon this?
Let's see. Somebody's asking about the Mezco Iron Man, but we already gave our thoughts. So you're just gonna have to listen to the replay of this when it's done.
YouTube.
rewind.
Right.
That's what I'm.
Oh, we should talk about the Infinity War trailer because we were on hiatus when that dropped.
Yeah, that looked fucking great. Some people were saying some shit about the CGI, which did look kind of shitty on that
But
Spider-Man
they're still,
part.
It's a
yeah,
first
they're still
trailer, of
fixing
course
it.
it does.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I absolutely don't expect it to be Justice League or anything,
Right.
In terms of
In terms of it being bad. In terms of it being bad. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be,
the finished
fucking-
CGI was worse
Yeah.
than the trailer CGI.
Right.
Yeah,
It was-
man. Yeah. It
So
was
how
bad.
what do you think? I mean, I think we're all expecting the movie to be a success, right? We've all kind of just like more or less accepted that we're all gonna love it. Like,
I mean,
everybody-
monetarily, it's got to be a success.
The trailer made me excited. I'll say that the trailer got me hyped, but like I can't like I gotta be realistic though because Age of Ultron was fucking awful.
Broke
Really,
my heart,
you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? So it's possible for Marvel to break your heart, no question. So
I think at this point we're so like into this universe and so many movies along that we just kind of expect them to be a certain level of quality, and it's kind of lost that mystique of like when the first one was like, oh, this is going to be the greatest superhero movie ever because it's the first time and all this stuff. Now, you know, we've seen it enough where it's like nobody's going in expecting this to be the greatest movie of all time.
well, I do think they have us. I do think they have us where we need to be or where they want us and shit though, because it honestly should be one of the greatest of all times with all of the building up and shit that they've been doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, this should be our fan like payoff and like mad geek moment should happen and like, you know, it should be nuts.
No, but I mean more in terms of quality or movie. Like the spectacle is obviously still there, you know, in terms of we've been building this for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't
like
see
going
this
into like
being
the
Citizen Kane.
I'm not expecting this to be like some award-winning writing.
No, not like that. It'll be
Not gonna win any original screenplays. You know what I mean?
It'll be award-winning in our minds.
I wasn't worried
like,
about
you
the
know,
film until they cut it from 2 movies to 1.
Yeah, that's a little worrisome.
And I was like,
Yeah.
That's not what they did.
Hold on, but that was done.
What they did, Rick.
That
They-
was done
they originally
before they
titled-
started filming.
The 2 movies were originally both titled Infinity War Part 1 and 2. They didn't like take that movie and turn it into one. They've simply only titled the first part Infinity War, and the second part is going to be titled something else.
I hope you're
according
right,
to the
Fabio.
producers, the title of the second one gives away the first one.
Oh, see, supposedly we're supposed to get the name of the second one and the credits of the first one, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like a reference to the end of the movie.
Yeah, it'll be like the Avengers will return in, and then it'll say the name of that next
Skrull
movie.
Invasion.
Right, but it's not like
Oh.
they make it Infinity War and it was 2 movies and they turned it into
I'm
one
gonna
movie.
hold you to that shit. Let's
No,
see
they're
what
gonna
happens.
do it.
That sounds good.
Oh, they already showed us at Comic-Con.
They were
Yeah.
pretty clear about that. I mean, yeah, they
Yeah.
should show the part 1 and part 2 thing, but
Okay, all right, cool.
have said that all they've done is retitle the movie. It's still the same
Man.
movie.
How dope was it seeing that on screen, Russ?
Oh, okay. So if you want to give like, I swear the trailer that they showed us at SDCC was at least 2 times cooler than the public trailer that we got. Like,
Yeah, I seen a really bad copy, and I was like, damn, man, why'd they give SDCC such a sick trailer, and we got this?
slept on the concrete. That's why.
Right. We were out baking in the hot San Diego sun.
I slept by the ocean for this.
Wait. I gotta edit that right there. My friend slept on the concrete. I had a pregnant wife at the time. I had to make sure that my wife was okay.
Hey, man, there's shifts.
There's
You know,
shit.
it counts. It counts.
No, we helped during the day a lot, but I didn't sleep on the concrete too much this time. But last year I slept on the concrete a lot.
Dude, last year, that's all I did. Me and a few guys from the community, Lou and Witch Wands, we were all in the Funko Pop Hasbro lines, and it was horrible.
No wonder I didn't see you. I was walking around everywhere.
I saw you once, and you didn't even know it was me, man.
Oh, really?
I'm not sleeping on the fucking concrete.
I was
Fuck
like, hey,
that.
Fabio, what's up? And Fabio was like, hey, man, fuck off.
What? Don't throw me under the bus.
No, you were rushing somewhere. It was that day that you had to go back home. You were like rushing around, and I was like, hey, the line's really short. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, that might have been when I was trying to talk to Hasbro or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
must
was
have
running
been.
around a lot. Let's see. We got some. Marty Dick Chetta says, Rick, you're a thief, and he hates you.
That's JC.
I stole his heart. I stole his heart.
Is that Chetta Chet? No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
JC.
JC, 100%.
Let's see. How about Rusev for Colossus, Rick.
Ooh, every day is Rusev Day, so
Every
I'm
day
in.
could be Rusev Day. Let's see. Do we think that the rumors of an Omega Red figure are true?
I hope so.
That's happening for sure. There's a few things that's absolutely 100% going to happen, and nobody told me, but I know
That-
Ambit, Professor X, we getting those 3 figures.
That Omega Red is about to be on that Colossus body.
I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing they use the tentacles for Doc Ock for Omega.
Machine Man arm.
Machine Man.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Machine Man arms are back.
Skyrocket value.
I'll tell you what. If it's not that, you just made it that because they're gonna fucking they're gonna hear that and
Dwight, write this down. Write this down. They said Machine Man
you could
tentacles.
say
It's in Pawtucket. We could just kidnap him for the ideas.
How about someone said SH Figure Arts Ben 10 figures? Question mark.
Yo,
No,
let
no,
me
no.
get a forearms, a diamond head, and accelerate. I ain't playing. I ain't fucking around. I need them. Absolutely.
Damn.
Who's-
Jake no
Let me get a
names.
cannonball. Let me get a gray matter. I ain't here to play.
I
Man
want that
of
on-
action?
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Let me get a fully articulated Grandpa Max. You already know
I'm
what.
sorry, but I want Yu Yu Hakusho figures first.
No.
Oh, that's a good call.
Please, for the
I
love of
feel
God.
like if they make the figures, they need to be absolute masterpieces because there's so much like angst from there not being figures for that show for like 20 years.
It's their 20th
it
anniversary
sucks.
this year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
It is. We're gonna have an OVA for the.
Not
for the
for hold on, not for Ben 10, but for
Oh.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh,
No,
Hakusho.
Ben 10.
Ben 10,
Ben
20
10's been 30 years.
I was
Holy
about
shit.
to say, what the fuck?
Time flies, B.
I'm about to say, damn.
Oh, one other
We're gonna
big thing
get
we forgot to talk
SHF
about
Max
while,
Steel.
While we were on
Yo,
hiatus,
catch
the whole Fox buyout happened. So now Disney owns Fox, right? Do we? Someone's asking, do we think that's going to affect, how the figures are released and what company releases them, and more importantly, are we going to get a movie Deadpool?
100%. I'd say that it affects it a lot.
I say that it affects in terms of the character availability. I don't, however, think it affects the release of the companies or which company will release it. I think now Hasbro has more of the carte blanche to start making the Fox figures again because it's all under the one house of Disney, and Hasbro already has that license with Marvel going. It's, if anything, the partnership just became easier for us to get the figures we
Didn't
want.
they say something about some other Deadpool wave that's supposed to be coming with Marvel Legends too?
No, there It's the one with the classic Liefeld.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
but there's supposed to be a second. I think I heard that.
Body.
You said what?
With the Sunfire body, that Deadpool.
Yeah. No. I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
there's
the
supposed to be
classic.
another. There's supposed to be an actual Deadpool wave. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Huh.
I thought that was the wave with the 90s cable and all that.
Well, there's supposed to be another one.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Here's a question for Pancho. Did SH Figure Arts kill off Naruto?
Oh shit, I don't know.
They're just choking it out slowly. That's all.
That line like coming to an end?
I
going
don't believe so.
Well, they just released the like big bad guy, didn't they?
Yeah, like I'm not as brushed up on Naruto as
Yeah, I don't really know shit about it. That's why I call him the big
They're
bad
doing
guy.
currently though. I know that they're doing some of the 2.0s like they did with Dragon Ball Z and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
but you're right. They did just come out with one of the bad guys.
Yeah, I don't think that line is going anywhere. I think they're in like a little bit of a limbo right now, just because of Boruto's going on.
Oh, that's right.
It's so funny. Like people like bug out so much about getting legacy characters done for Dragon Ball, but like Naruto is like on a completely different level. They straight up don't even fuck with those characters anymore. Half of them. So
We're lucky to get a Rock Lee, honestly.
yeah. Blessed. I grabbed that Rock Lee as soon as I could. Jeez.
Speaking of canceled SH Figure Arts, what about that Shredder? That's done, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, they officially said Shredder's not coming?
Nah, but I feel like it's one of those things where them turtles really didn't sell. Like it's apparent.
I didn't like them. I sold all of those shits. I got
They
all
were
four.
30% off at Barnes and Noble.
See?
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they.
I grabbed my Raphael from there last week.
See, people were grabbing off like HLJ for like $20 too. See, at least the Reveltech ones, like that has a legacy in terms of those being great quality figures. I've never heard anybody say, you know what I was wowed by? My Figure Arts Turtles. You know?
Right. The
Well,
only people that said that are the ones that couldn't get the NECA set.
I've heard people say, you know what I was glad to sell? My Figure Arts Turtles. That's about it, man.
I've actually been liking those. I'm
trying to complete mine right now.
Nah, fuck that. I sold all four of them shits together.
Yeah, I'm
If
trying
somebody out there has a Mikey, let me know.
We got a little thread going on in the comments right now. People are yelling about a Mezco Doctor Doom, but I got bad news. They don't have the license for Doctor Doom.
How you figure that?
When I interviewed him at San Diego this year, I specifically asked him about that and Magneto, and he latched on.
But that was before the Fox deal, no?
I guess so, but They said it was a separate
It's
license.
a whole new world. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Might be different now, but yeah, I don't know. At least at the time, he seemed pretty definitive about like can't touch that.
I'll
I
tell
think
you
they said
what,
they could do Fantastic Four, but not Doctor Doom, if I remember correctly.
If they
I don't know,
do-
Pancho. You have the footage.
if they do a
I
Mezco
do.
Doctor
Yeah.
Doom, that'll definitely be one of their highest selling figures.
Sellers,
No question.
absolutely. Because
question.
everybody, even people who aren't grabbing Mezco figures, will grab a Mezco Doom for the Legends.
If he
Yes.
put some fake fur on his cape, I'm in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We get a piano set up, it's on.
They could kill it. They could definitely kill it. We'll see. But
I would love to see a Magneto from them too, though.
let's see what happens with these releases this year. Because shit, they could announce that shit, and you could be Clint Eastwood's age by the time that shit comes out.
Let's see. We could get movie figures from the X-Men for Legends, maybe.
Yeah, but okay. So, in your opinion, right now, from only the X-Men branded movies, what are the figures you would want from that?
I mean, realistically, they could do
None.
Dark Phoenix.
Right, Jean Grey. I don't want that.
No, but I
The
don't
new
mean about like
Scott-
previous.
Nope.
Well, I take a Professor X. Just
The McAvoy one.
No, the one that's coming out. Well, I guess it is a McAvoy.
Yeah,
one.
that is McAvoy. But that's what I'm saying. You have like whatever the Game of Thrones chick as Jean Grey. I don't want this new whiny Scott. Like I don't even want the movies. Never mind the figures.
yeah.
Right, but realistically, if the timeline works out that now they have the rights and that movie comes out whenever it comes out, by then they could, if they are going to touch the movie stuff for like this X-Men franchise, that would be the time to do it.
Save
But-
that plastic, dog. The world's dying. You know what I mean? I don't need those figures. Anyone else? No? All right. I look like a douche. Okay.
I mean, if they're part of the MCU, then that could change everything, you know?
I still wouldn't, but I don't care if it was like they retconned the whole timeline that they were there the whole time. Everything was fine. I
You
can't
say
get
that
into
now,
this
but then
mo-
those figures will hit. Those
I
previews
can't. I
will
don't
hit.
like the modern cast though. That's the thing. That's why I don't buy any of the movie Legends anymore. Like, unless I love the character.
Let's see. Going back. Will articulated icons reopen the store again, or will it lose its hype?
Articulated icons is going to get. I mean, aren't they giving us that other line?
Yeah, they're supposed to be coming out with another.
It's closer to the 7-inch. Like it's closer to Marvel Legends scale, right? So like, why are they gonna? I think they're really gonna keep both going at the same time. Like I think they're gonna just phase out the. By the time we get those new, I can't remember what they're called. Like
Okay, I get you. You're talking about DC icons. I mean, articulated icons, the ninjas.
articulated icons. Derp! Oh my bad.
I was like, I see where you're going with it, but let me let you finish to make sure.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, did you get any of those, Russ? Did you get any of the ninjas?
No, I would have liked to have picked them up. I heard about them way late, so I never got my hands on them. And then I watched some reviews, and everyone was talking about how short they were, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that. So I was kind of like, nah.
So you never actually reviewed one either, huh?
Nope, never held one, never reviewed one. They look pretty cool. I remember even on the Fuchs's reviews, there was like some paint app issues and stuff. And I don't know. I kind of want. It's like it's one of those things that I think I'm kind of harsh, and I didn't want to be harsh on something new. I don't know. I kind of wanted to give it its chance and like kind of see how it would go. But plus, also, I caught on late to them, so I had to have paid a lot to get them, and I think at the time I couldn't grab them. So yeah, but maybe one day I'll get them.
Yeah, I hope. The question is basically, they're going to reopen their store pretty soon. So if you do want to get them, you'll probably have another chance soon, or anybody.
Yeah. Some of those samurais look really cool. Like I think some of the designs look really cool. I mean, weren't they on the short side though? Am I wrong about that? I mean,
they are a little bit short, but it kind of makes sense for the characters because they're of Asian descent, so you could kind of fudge the scale.
What are you trying to say, man? I've seen some pretty tall. Well, I know.
Yao
Hey,
Ming.
man, I'm
That was the
2%
reasoning.
Asian. You're offending me, friend.
I guess so. But anyway,
You're
yeah,
offending.
we're a little short. I just did a shot with Mezco, Arrow, and Arsenal, and
Yeah,
yeah,
so that looked good because you kept them far away enough that where you didn't tell that one was shorter than.
yeah, exactly. And I kind of wanted the focus to be the Mezcos anyway. There, so
Yeah, I'd always wanted to do a shot with the articulated icons because Arrow
they pose
was always
well.
fighting a bunch of random ass ninjas and shit.
Let's see. What else we got? Beast Kingdom DC movie figures. Oh, those are the that's the one that has that big Steppenwolf, right? Anyone know about those?
I have
No.
seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. Shoot, those guys hit me up and I responded to them, and then I didn't get a reply back after that. But yeah, I do want to get that Steppenwolf. That does look pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be like a nice definitive Steppenwolf to put with your other like more premium lines.
Yeah, I think he had actually some pretty good looking angle pivot on him, right?
Well, it was a lot of ball joints, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Kind of want to look at
Like Rebel Tech ball joints at the elbows and stuff. Let's see. We need another Marvel Knights wave because we need a Netflix Luke Cage, says Brian Carter. That's for sure.
$70 for that Steppenwolf.
Yeah, we definitely need a Luke Cage. If we were to get a Netflix one, then they'll probably give us the best one that we'll ever get, because they'll probably do something totally new as far as the
whole
sculpt and
body will be
everything
new.
goes. And then you might be able to just swap on the comic head.
I'm hoping more for a TV show one than a comic one, because we're gonna get a brand new mold, and they don't have to worry about price when they tell Hasbro like, oh, it's for the show, it's for the movie.
Yeah, I could see that. And then, and like I said, you might be able to just swap on the comic version head, and you're good to go.
Yeah, or somebody will make one, cast it, Dave Castle. Somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah, but yeah, I did ask them about that the last time at the round table thing, and asked them if they would do another Netflix wave, and they said it was definitely a possibility. It was definitely on the table. So,
Yeah, just tell them not to fuck up Elektra's arms.
word up.
They already did.
I got a question.
They already did.
Got a question for Pancho. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is this month, Pancho. On a scale of excited to hyped, how stoked are you?
Extremely excited.
What's this? Put me on. I think I'm a little behind on the
a
anime.
Oh
fighting
my
game.
God, Boog, what are
it's
you
a game.
doing?
I thought
Yeah,
you
it's a
were
video
talking
game.
about some new arc for the anime or some shit. I'm sorry. Okay.
I got the Ultimate Edition. I'm ready to not be able to pose that figure because it's a statue and play the fuck out of that game. I'm gonna try to wipe the floor with Pancho as long as he doesn't use Xbox, because Xbox sucks.
And when you say this is coming out next month?
It comes
This
out at the end of this month, the 28th. The statue that comes with it is a Master Star statue, so it's a pretty nice statue.
Okay.
And it's manga colors. Those are my favorite ones, where they're not the manga colors, the like exaggerated
Yeah,
Cell shade.
colors. Yeah, cell shaded.
Look
There
really
we go.
good.
That's what it's called. That's fine.
I would.
The whole game is cell shaded and it looks incredible. I don't play fighting games or anything Dragon Ball Z, but that just looks incredible.
So
It's what you want out of a fighting game.
It's not 2D, right? It's all open world type fighter. Like
It's 3D models, but it's 2D fighting, like Street
Like
Fighter,
Street
Mortal
Fighter.
Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh shit! I thought it was
But-
like one of
But
those.
honestly, the
Not a
gameplay,
Skyrim. That'd be sick.
the
Skyrim type
gameplay
Dragon
looks
Ball Z.
better. The gameplay looks better than fucking SF5. So
Yeah,
it's
we shouldn't even compare it, because
Yeah, I'm glad
SF5
fighting
looks like balls in comparison.
absolutely.
Okay.
All this
I would
Mortal Kombat.
I would
4
probably
sci-fi
be like,
bullshit, I never liked it.
I'd probably be way more excited if I got into the beta like 3 months ago.
Oh.
So like I had already played it. Like I played it for like, I don't know how long the beta was up for, but I played it like literally the entire time.
Man,
So
you know,
like if I didn't do that, like I would probably be at like fucking, I don't know. That'd be the end of my rope.
I don't want to steal from the Angry Video Game Nerd, but you know what's bullshit is that when you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you're supposed to be able to get into the beta automatically, and I
Yeah, that
never
was
got
whack.
shit. That was
Holy
bullshit.
I remember I was so
Propaganda.
pissed off because I saw a couple of my friends were playing it, and I was like, this is whack. Like but they were all like influencers. So like Miss DBZ Babe or whatever, like I'm friends with her on Facebook and Twitter, and I saw that she was playing, and I was like, okay. And then I saw my other friend, he has a YouTube channel, a gaming YouTube channel, and I go, okay, well they must have just given it to like gaming influencers or specifically Dragon Ball influencers and stuff, so I probably didn't get in. And then I checked my messages on Xbox and I had a code, so I was pretty excited.
Nice. So influential, Panzo. I mean, the whole way they fucking sell games these days is an Ultimate Edition ripoff, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but what are you gonna do? We took the first step with Battlefront. So.
That's why I'm glad I play on PC. I don't play games until like 2 years later when they're $15 on Steam.
I got it all beat. I just play PS2. I'm solid.
There you go.
Let's see. Somebody asked about the 12-inch Wolverine. Jake, you talked about that.
Oh, love it. Great figure. Absolutely. Best of last year, in my opinion.
Wow. Best 12-inch Legend Series figure of last year, or best?
No, in my opinion, best thing bearing the Legends name last year.
Oh wow, better than all the Marvel Legends.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to mess with too many Marvel Legends, but out of the ones I mess with, that 12-inch Wolverine is my favorite.
It looks great with that Hulk.
Yes,
I mean,
it does.
don't get me wrong,
Absolutely.
I like all of the 12-inch figures. It's just not a line I collect, but they all look great.
So
I like
if
I love that Spider-Man mold, but they reuse it sometimes in a way where it doesn't really work too well. I think it's kind of freaky looking on that STCC Daredevil and the Deadpool. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because he has really big hands and boots compared to the slimness of the body. It looks weird.
You know what's gonna come next for that 12-inch line? I bet a Punisher figure. I bet they're gonna put up.
that might be a tough sell though, no, in terms of like getting that out there in a 12-inch scale figure because they
With a rocket launcher with
only
a boxing glove.
I could see that going. Yeah, right. I could see that being another SDCC like they do with Daredevil because that was the beauty of Daredevil. You had the display option of him in costume, then you had the other one of him like beat to shit. I can see them doing that with Frank. You know what I mean? Having him with a trench coat and a face where he's like normal, and then maybe one with bloody knuckles and a messed up face. I think we could see that at SDCC before we'd ever see that at store shelves.
Yeah,
I agree with you
that
on
makes sense. That makes sense. And not to mention that it's it's the Punisher. They're gonna make a big ass like serial killer.
Right, exactly.
It's okay. He's a good guy with a gun that kills bad guys.
Right. Yeah. No. He's still a fucking psychopath. Did we talk about the Punisher shit? When did that end? I can't remember. Like, we
talked about the show.
Yeah, I can't remember anything.
That
like
came out same day as Justice League. So no, we didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right. Yeah, it was the same weekend. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Punisher? I thought it was
good. I thought one of the strongest beats of it was probably like the PTSD soldier guy. I think his storyline made the show pretty compelling for me.
I've heard people say that they didn't like that bit. Like they didn't even like that portion of it. I liked it too. I thought he was pretty convincing. I thought his acting was.
I thought it maybe could have been a little bit more well executed, but I like that a character like Punisher really fits that kind of storyline. So I like that they included that.
Yeah, the actor is great, man. Jay Bernthal. No, I'm kidding. Whatever his name is,
it's funny.
He's fire.
Yeah. I do like him as Punisher though, no question.
Even as a killer, like a serial killer, he's like a likable dude. Like one of my favorite scenes was the silly one where he's like playing catch with the kid or whatever, and the real dad comes along, and he pushes the dad away and just goes back to the kid. He's like, there's nobody, it's fine. And they just keep playing ball. Like he's so like convincing. I don't know.
You know what? That part of the storyline though about the whole shit with the wife and like that was kind of weird though. Like I don't know, something was off with that. It was like because you kind of like wanted him to fuck the dude's wife.
Yeah, you kind of wanted him to. You wanted it, right? Like
she was kind of weird.
Any other thoughts on Punisher?
No, I thought it was good though. Overall, I enjoyed it.
I think so far strongest Marvel show of last year compared to the other two that they dropped, Iron Fist and Defenders.
Yeah, I'd say that for sure. No question. Fucking.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll say it did take a little long. It took a little bit too long to get to the actual punishing, but once it got there, it got there.
I mean, it
was a little build up. Don't give me a little tease before.
Right.
And the real point is that like for the Punisher, you want to see good punishment, and I really feel like they really delivered. I mean, the smearing of the face. Ooh. I was like, this is beautiful. Yeah.
That's another one of my favorite things is that I knew this guy was Billy Russo, Jigsaw. So like the entire fucking series, he has this big sword of Damocles over his head, just like when is he gonna get his face? Is it this episode? Every single time he was on screen.
It's like from if y'all ever seen Hot Tub Time Machine. There's a guy who loses his arm in the future.
Oh yeah.
They go to the past like it's gotta fucking happen now.
Right.
That was good. Moving on.
Yeah, that was brutal though. That last fucking scene where how he actually becomes Jigsaw, I guess, was pretty fucking brutal, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like nails on a chalkboard, baby.
Yeah.
Colossal Customs is asking about Predator and Alien releases. So I'll take that real quick. Off the top of my head, I can only think of the Alien versus Predator arcade line. So we're getting like the 3 aliens from that, and then 3 Predators, and then Mayor, what's her name? The chick, Len Kusunaga or whatever, and then the
They're
big
just gonna start putting out crazy shit.
There's
Polka dot alien, spotted alien, striped alien, and shit. It's happening.
You're not wrong, dude. These aliens go deep.
There's the Ultimate Warrior 2-pack where you have brown and I guess a blue warrior from the Aliens movies, and they're like the ultimate versions, so they got great articulation. However, they're made by NECA, so they're made of glass and sadness. So as much as I love the brand, man, I gotta be how it is. I want those figures, but I'm not gonna enjoy it. I know it.
Damn.
You got some terrible luck with these figures.
It's like,
Dude, it's so bad. You know what? That's the thing. Like, I feel like sometimes I'll pop one open and it's like perfect, and I'm like, wow, God has really shined upon me today. And it's like other times I'll open it and it's like shattered. Like more than anything, I cannot wait for the NECA Pennywise. However, I know I'm gonna have to buy a couple because one of them is gonna probably break.
Didn't they just tease images of that recently?
They did. They had the gray prototype from behind shown, so you can see the new technology for the double jointed knees and elbows and stuff, as well as the first accessory, which is the balloon, and that has an armature wire running up of it. So it's like you'll be able to do a lot with that so far, because from what we know, it's an ultimate release, so it'll be one of the more expensive, but it'll have a lot of stuff.
Have more articulation and more shit packed in. But is this supposed to be Pennywise from this latest movie?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, because
I might go back and hit the 1991, but right now it's just this one.
Okay. That sounds interesting. I'm sure that'll be one that people will go out and get for sure.
Especially with McFarlane doing the Stranger Things kids. You know,
right?
That's some crossover there.
Yeah,
some crossover potential. There you go. He's thinking outside the box, guys.
These guys, Lynn Kurosawa and Arcade Dutch. These are the ones I'm probably most excited.
What the fuck?
Say hi.
You guys ever played the arcade?
Yo, is that Bionic Commando? That's sick. Oh no,
These are the other Predators. Oh, they got the ultimate whatevers, and then Ahab is gonna be a great one for sure. Oh, and the Force, the fucking comic line.
Oh shit, Cake Predator. Oh, bitch Predator.
Bitch Predator. Shredder Predator. Wolverine Predator. Commander Green Predator. Bionicle Masker Light Predator. I love this.
Oh shit.
Cool Blue Predator.
Yeah, that's like cool blue. Toxic.
Manhattan Predator.
Yo, Arctic Frost. I fuck the shit brown. Bionic Commando. Ninja Girl. I love this.
AVP arcade. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay.
Yeah.
This reminds me of when they did like all those Batman variants in the 90s.
Oh god, yeah, yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Frost
I love those.
Batman.
Hell yeah.
Ultimate Enforcer Predator. Oh man.
Yo, he comes for the money. He don't fuck around. You got till Tuesday to pay.
I'll break your thumbs.
Ultimate Enforcer Predator.
Ultimate Bad Blood. Yo, he got beat for everybody.
He's got like a voice box, and it's an Italian accent and shit.
Joe Pesci. What you say about my mother? You Oh, okay. So I'm looking at this ultimate. Oh, you got some JavaScript issues. Ultimate Ahab Predator. Can that even sit? Can any of these sit? Yeah.
Yeah, the Ultimates. You could get them to sit, no question.
All right.
Yeah, you could definitely get them to sit.
Yeah, this would be a good one to put on that bone throw.
That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, he looks pretty decent.
No, this one's great. This one's from the Fire and Stone comic. So it was like the comic.
Oh, you know what?
Prometheus.
If that's a cloth cloak for that guy, we could take that and put it on Thor. Boom.
You want? Yeah, but it's like $25 for like a piece of fabric.
For a piece of fabric, wow.
Well, this makes a good like standard Predator too. Though you don't have to know what that Predator is, but and it's a removable mask too, so that's neat.
Interesting. And then the female, the Machiko.
Yeah, that's from the AVP comic.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's the '90s Dark Horse comic.
Okay,
these two are from that same comic.
Hornhead Predator. Now, what realm of deviant art did that come from?
That's from Life and Death, which is the latest crossover storyline.
With who? Alien vs Predator, or
they kind of act like would-be sequels to like AVP, Prometheus, Aliens, and Predator.
Oh, interesting.
Like a big crossover arc. It's actually really good.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Kinda,
Dark Horse
first,
made it.
yeah, Dark Horse made him. The first one is Fire and Stone. The second one's Life and Death.
Okay.
So it's cool because this Ahab Predator hunts like what do they call the Prometheus engineers?
Oh, no kidding.
Because he comes with a big like engineer skull too, so that's cool.
What? Oh, that one will be released with it?
Yeah, this Ahab Predator.
Oh, that's cool.
And then these two are also from a Dark Horse storyline from like '95 or something.
90s? Yeah, I feel like that Bad Blood one has some like I feel like I've seen that on a comic cover somewhere.
Yeah, it's from Predator Bad Blood, and it's
Okay.
the predator that hunts other predators.
Oh no shit.
The fuck?
And then actually, the Enforcer Predator is also an army builder. So if you wanted to, you can get like 2 or 3 of these guys.
Oh, sick.
And then these guys are crazy because they're supposed to be looking like the arcade colors.
Yeah. I mean,
but
I'm probably not gonna buy most of these because the Predator line I feel like I'm not into as much as Aliens. However, that Ahab one looks pretty sick. I might have to grab that just to at least check that one out.
they came out with this one as a con exclusive a few years ago, but this is like obviously a better version.
Updated, yeah.
These two I'm probably the most excited for, just to have that Dark Horse comic line. But anyway, that's it. And then the aliens are just like the AVP aliens and stuff, and I think the Resurrection line. I don't know what else.
All right, let's take one or two more questions.
Yeah,
I got to get out of here.
Yeah, me too. What's one Mezco figure you wish to be made? Quick, Magneto.
Mezco. Well, I said Doctor Doom. We said Doctor Doom already, but I don't know. To pick another one, maybe Black Panther.
Ooh, a Black Panther would be cool.
Amazing Bagman for me.
No,
Make it baggy. I don't give a fuck. It's accurate.
He's got his feet out, but they don't want to break the scope, so no ankle pivot, man.
They're just gonna give him boots and be like, "Hey guys,
There you go.
forget about it."
It's a nice Spider-Man.
That's what they do with the MU.
A nice Spider-Man.
Yeah, just a functional Spider-Man.
You know where to find that in a different line.
Yeah, that's right.
Rebel Tech. Put some cloth on a Rebel Tech. You're good.
That's how. Yeah.
Or don't. That's good too.
Right.
Yeah, or don't.
Let's see. A lot of more questions coming in. Avenger Vasti just wants to give a shout out to ShartimusPrime because he's what got him into ACBA and displaying and stuff back in the day, as well as Boog and Sentry.
Yeah, thank you.
OG3.
You know, I think Mezco could do like cool Power Rangers and Sentai Rangers. I think it'd be really cool.
I see, especially if they like go for the market where like Project BM and all the Metacom ones. If you just shrink that down, give it a good body underneath, you'd kill it.
Hell yeah.
Project BM. What is that?
That's the offshoot of Metacom. They do the Kamen Rider and the Super Sentai 12-inch figures.
See, Shartimus, there you go. You could do a play on words with that. That could be something that you could incorporate into your.
Drop $300 on a Power Rangers figure you use for one video. It'll work out great. I'm sure it's a good investment.
BM.
All right. Well, there's no more questions coming in, so let's get those closing plugs and get out of here.
All right. You go first then.
Well, I guess this is kind of my last show for a little while because my my sketch show that I've been working on for about 3 months now at Second City is opening next week, and it's at 5 p.m. for the next 6 Sundays, so that's going to take me out of here for a while. But I'm really excited about it. It's called Uncommon Ground. It's at Second City Hollywood. It's going to run until the 25th of February, and I'm really excited about it. I think we have a really fucking good show put together, and we're really proud to start promoting that because that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Dad, I'm excited for you, man. That's definitely very cool, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm
Get an
proud
opportunity to do
kind of
that.
perform on the stage where Key and Peele was developed. You know, that's kind of the end goal of a show like this is, you know, for the concept and the writing staff of it to be recognized as something that, you know, the company itself can keep there as like a main stage thing.
Congrats,
so,
man.
What we're hoping for. So yeah, I'll be promoting that. But yeah, thanks guys for letting me come on one more time.
Jake, what you got going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. I'm working on a YouTube channel, trying to get some videos up. But for now, you can catch me on Instagram, Mr. Not Nice, Mr. with an A. That's about it for now. Catch me on this podcast. This is where I love to be.
P?
You can find all my stuff online under Poncheezy. I put out a new video today, new speedy delivery, mail haul today. Working on Opposing Ain't Easy. They're going to be shorter now, so they're not like literally 3 months in between. So I'm just going to focus on like maybe like 5 to 10 minute episodes instead of like 20 to 30 minute episodes, so I can get them
Gotta be
out.
10 to get that AdSense, bro.
Yeah, that's very true. Just pan out those credits real long.
Or just do what PewDiePie does, walk away.
Yeah, walk away. Just leave it.
Let it record.
Bro, fist my AdSense. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Well, Russ.
All right. I'll go. Russ, you could go last, man. You close out.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Well, you're on my channel, so all the shit's gonna be. I'm not on this planet right now, but all the shit's gonna be in the description below. Well, two things I definitely want to talk about right now. Well, the polls are still open. We actually had two polls. We had a poll for the top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 and the top 10 action figures of 2017 from across any line, any brand, or whatever the case may be. So I guess those two links will be in the description if you still want to vote for that stuff. And then we also have the A.C.B.A 2018 calendar up for pre-order right now. They should actually be shipping this week, maybe by the end of this week. But yeah, we are donating proceeds from the calendar to the American Diabetes Association. A link for that will be in the description. The calendars are like $12 shipped anywhere, so it's a pretty good deal. It's a lot of different artists that you see in the groups if you frequent the groups, and just a lot of artists from all over the world. I think this is the best one we put together, and I think it looks great, and it's just a good way for you to keep track of what's going on throughout the year and be inspired to collect and display. And I think it's a cool thing and a cool like community project. So yeah, that information will be in the description. My Instagram, my YouTube, the A.C.B.A Instagram, which I think is the best gallery on Instagram as far as articulated art goes. Again, featuring some of the best artists from all around the world. You should definitely, at the very least, follow that page. And yeah, all of those links will be in the description. Thanks for hanging out. Love y'all. Russ, what you got going on?
YouTube channel. It's called ShartimusPrime. Best action figure reviews in the observable universe. And I've got the best T-shirts in the observable universe that are being printed this week. They're called the Legendary Collector T-shirts. So it's like based on the Marvel Legends font. I thought it was a pretty cool design. My brother and one of my students helped make it. So a lot of work went into making these T-shirts. So if anybody wants to, pick a T-shirt, check them out at ShartimusPrime.net/store and check out the YouTube channel.
Yeah, when I update the video, it'll be all his links will be there too. So all of that information will be right in the description of this video as well.
As I was saying, ShartimusPrime.net/store. ShartimusPrime.net/store.
All right, so yeah, man, we hung out for 3 hours, 4 hours. Damn, we were on for 4 hours.
Wow.
All right, so that means you
I threw up so much stuff on eBay this whole time. I've been working on my eBay account. I've been getting work done the whole time through like.
So yeah, man, if you listening to this the next day, I'll definitely get you through half a day at work or something. So that's cool. So yeah, man, we're gonna be consistent doing this in the new year, at least twice a month. But we trying to keep it going every week and have guests and stuff. So it was definitely an honor to have my man Russ ShartimusPrime on our first episode back for the new year and kicking things off with guests. We definitely want to, have more guests moving forward, but we definitely had to have an OG on for the first ep. So yeah, man, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. And everybody who hung out, all the viewers that hung out live for this time, thanks for checking us out. But again, like I said, we should be back next weekend with a brand new guest. All right, thanks for hanging out.
Peace.
Peace. Be easy.